All right. For a recap for what we have available for channel rewards. Actually, let's we have the two donation-based rewards. We have a change of plans for 200 bits or a subscribe. It's one banked reroll. So if anybody joins and they subscribe, you guys immediately get a reroll automatically. You get one banked reroll of any party d20, or you can apply it to an enemy d20 roll. You have Lucky Strike as the other one. For 500 bits, you get one banked natural 20 on any party d20 roll, or a banked natural 1 on an enemy's d20 roll. You can also do that retroactively. So, like, let's say you guys are fighting a boss and they critically hit you, and you're like, no, we want to use the Lucky Strike. You could apply the natural 1 and revert that hit. There's Heal Bell for trainers and Heal Bell for Pokemon. It heals 1 injury whenever it's used. It's limited to 2 redeems per stream. We have the Item from Beyond the Veil. The viewer will choose a particular... they'll choose the player that they want to give the item to. We'll roll the category that it'll land on, and then we have tables to see what item it is. They can also choose the category for that. Flash of Genius, give all Pokemon in the party 15 experience, limited to 1 per stream. Force a random encounter. This could be helpful or unhelpful. And then there's also forcing a random encounter that is helpful, and we have a table for categories. In the last one, we had Alpha Pokemon as one of the categories that could pop up in random encounters. I've removed Alpha Pokemon, and it has been replaced with a new category, Omen. And I will keep that as a mystery as to what that is until we roll on it. We can up the difficulty, increase the difficulty of an encounter. That could come in the form of a second phase power-up for a boss, an increased number of enemies, or an inflated health pool. And this is one that the players can enjoy as well, which is making an NPC. After redeeming, we'll work together to make a character who will exist and appear within the world. They may not be a party member. They could be maybe there's a traveling bard, or even they could be a party member and they're just not a combatant. So you have somebody who comes with you and they're a cook or something like that. In addition to that, we do have the Pokemon community game active in stream. If any of you are not, if anyone is not started in the Pokemon community game yet, you can start playing by typing !PokeStart, and it'll get you your trainer pass. It'll add the widget to your stream, and this progress carries over to any other stream that has the Pokemon community game active in it. Every 15 minutes or so, a Pokemon will pop up. It'll last for 90 seconds. You can spend your inventory. You have Pokeballs, Great Balls, etc. that you can use to catch these Pokemon, and you have a full Pokemon box. You can Wonder Trade them. You can use them for battles, train them, stuff like that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You guys ready?
Tradition. Tradition is a concept which binds familiarity with the passing of generations.
Yep.
Something that those who knew they would pass on established to be remembered. It is spoken word and legends. It is culinary arts, castles, and towered architecture, and even dance that remind us of those who came before. The nameless and the named. In Johto, the people have formed their livelihoods around tradition. We know that the dancers of Ecruteak City remind us of the destruction that came from the great fire that raged through the town many years ago. We know that the ruins of Alph, the civilization that gives us our modern alphabet, house messages from the scholars of the time. One such message rings true. Our words shall remain here for the ages. There are times when tradition is lost, but it leaves echoes in the present. Even when lost, the tradition finds its way to ring a bell that sounds the call to find it. It is why we are on this expedition. I, Professor Dragonblood, lead this team of researchers to the peak of the northern mountains of Johto, bordering on the region of Sinnoh. The ruins of the Sinjoh Temple are said to have been long since forgotten by the centuries of snowfall in the range, and by the others forgotten who would upkeep the temple. Should we find success on our expedition, these ancient civilizations who built their iconography, technological advancements, and belief systems around Pokemon could provide a wealth of knowledge that bridges the gaps in our understanding of our own history, and perhaps pushes us forward to the future while building on the past. Look out, Sinjoh Temple! The blood of a dragon burns with tenacity. You won't escape us yet.
Ooh.
The morning is warmer than usual, a good sign for your research team. The wind isn't howling, and the sun is shining with sparse clouds in the sky. The smell of cooking meat and wood smoke rouses your tired bodies from their cots. As he does every morning, the wizened Professor Dragonblood is preparing breakfast for the camp. The tent you stay in is warm, with the sun poking through the insulated canvas. A small coal fire smolders in the center. And like clockwork, there it is, the buzzing call of that pesky pineco that hangs from the large pine tree near the camp. Let's start with Jogsaw. Could you tell me the appearance of your character, a bit about yourselves, and your role on the team?
Sounds good. My character name's Will Hadley, and he's serving as sort of the climatologist, meteorologist on this expedition. Older man, around 31 years old, so not too old. Very much in shape, like he's always active, running around. Face and shoulders scarred up with different, scars and memories from various research expeditions previous.
Okay. And as you're waking up, this routine that you feel, what would you what would you be doing first thing?
I'll probably roll out of bed, wake up, just do some basic stretches, keep limber in case I gotta get moving. Then look outside, look out the window, little smirk on my face, and then head out and start the day.
As you step out of the tent, you get that breathtaking view that you get every morning, and you remind yourself of how lucky you are to be on such an expedition. You are high in the mountains to the north of Johto, and you look out over the region. You're much higher than the old tower that rests in Eckertique City, just down the mountain. You can see it down there, and even whenever you're in the city, that tower looks enormous, unbelievably high, reaching almost up to the clouds. And here you are standing in the mountains that looks down on this city. You can see the whole region from here if the clouds are clear enough, and this morning allows you to do such a thing. It's beautiful. And you step out of your tent and you head towards this north camp where Professor Dragonblood is preparing breakfast. The old man is prodding away at some fried eggs that he tried making for you all. Moving over to Terror, can you tell us what your character looks like, a bit about them, and your role on the team?
Cassandra, or Cassie, as everyone has been calling her, is kind of fighting to get all of her stuff together against the piles of stuff that she has just left on the floor of her tent. Um, old, torn up clothes that she's clearly never replaced, just hemmed and washed again. And she's struggling to brush knots out of her hair, just makes it a little bit frizzier. She's got these thick rimmed glasses, blue eyes, red hair that's falling over her face in a way that she probably hasn't trimmed it in a while. She's holding it back with just a single barrette. And she puts all of her stuff very hurriedly into a old beat up backpack that she clutches to her chest for a moment before she dares to open up the door to her tent and step out.
As you do, the cool air from up here in the mountains, it's still very chilly, but it's not frigid like other mornings are. You can feel the warm sun beating down onto your skin, and with the wind it carries, it's this comforting feeling. The air feels fresh, and you continue to hear that buzzing of a pine cone nearby, similar to a cicada, like an alarm clock. Next, over to Possum. Can you tell us about your character?
Yeah. So the character I'll be playing is Abner. Pretty standard guy. There's a forest green parka, some light gray coveralls underneath. He's gonna wake up and just embrace the morning. Wears a big, heavy woolen cap. Currently bald.
All right. And what's your role on the team?
Well, before we start any sort of research endeavor, we've got to plant a flag somewhere. We got to plot a course, and that means surveying the lands. And Abner is exceptional at traveling those trails.
Nice. I also realized I skipped over Tara's. Tara, can you tell us what your role is for the team?
It's okay, I forgot to say it because I was fighting to get my mic stand to stop falling on me as I was talking. Cassie is an intern. She's just running around trying to get supplies for people while she's also getting experience.
Nice. All right. Next up, over to Angel. Can you tell us about your character?
Magnolia Stark is a very patient but also slightly sassy 26-year-old. She has this blonde hair that kind of goes into like with this green highlights. She usually holds her hair back by a ribbon, and she has gold rimmed glasses that are round and big, like on against her face. And she kind of wears clothes that are a little bit too big for her, but she doesn't let it stop her whenever she has to get down and look at the plants and everything. And she is the group's paleobotanist. So she is in love with fossil plants and anything that has to do with creatures or plants or fungi.
Nice. Okay. And then last but not least, Vanessa, can you tell us about your character?
Yes, so I am Dr. Clary Mason. She is a marine archaeologist, 31 years old, very serious, very steadfast. Can be a little bit irritable, but that's fine. She's a very good at what she does, good worker. She has like lavender, sort of purple hair, very piercing, bright blue eyes with very dark shadows underneath. Currently, she has been working late into the night, as she typically does, so she hasn't gone to sleep yet. She's at her table studying one of the relics that she had collected prior to coming to this location. And she has her headphones on. She listens to hard rock to focus where she is working at her desk, so that is currently what's playing in her ears as she kind of analyzes the artifact at hand.
Okay. And you may have said it, I might have missed it. What is your role for the research team?
Yes, she is a marine archaeologist.
Marine archaeologist. All right. As you exit your room, the morning air fills your lungs. Each of you gather towards this small basin that your camp is set around. It's maybe just like a 2-foot decline. It's nothing too steep, but you have your tents that are set up sort of around this circular depression. And this is where Dragonblood has set up the camp fire. And you see him plating up bacon and eggs, and he hands out plates to each of you. And you know that he must be in a good mood today for him to use some more of the precious provisions instead of insisting on rations and oatmeal and bread like he usually does. Curled next to him near the fire is a light, flowy cloud that nearly blends in with the snow. As you exit your tents and approach the fire, the creature's head lifts and looks drowsily at you, then shows happiness with its eyes. You know that this is Professor Dragonblood's Altaria, Windy. Professor Dragonblood is this surprisingly fit old man. He looks like he's roughly probably in his late 60s, but his actual age, he's closer to 85. He has this thick gray beard. It's not very long, but it's covers his face very consistently. There's no patches or anything. It's very well trimmed, well groomed. His hair is peppered gray. He wears a big bubble coat, a parka. It's got this faux fur line. And whenever he pulls it up, it looks like a piplup. His pants are these olive green, and he has hiking boots on. His skin is a deep tan color, and he is there are not many wrinkles on his face despite his age. He takes well care of himself, and as he gives you all your breakfast, he takes his plate and sort of stands over towards the edge of camp that faces over the drop of the mountain and looks out over the region while he enjoys his breakfast. While you guys sit and you enjoy your breakfast, you hear the soft crunching of snow. Each of you sort of turn over your shoulder, and you see this small bear Pokemon. It's got a little half moon on its chest, and it is sucking its paw as it approaches. It's a orangish brown color, only about 1.5 feet tall, and it's walking on 2 legs. Its belly's out. He gets sort of close to the camp. He's still outside of the range of the tents. What do you guys want to do? I'm so sorry. You guys have seen this Pokemon before. He usually comes around begging for sweets.
I absolutely will get up, and I will go rush to the little guy, and I'm going to try to rifle through and see if I can find anything in my pack that'll be sweet enough.
Okay. So you rush back into your tent and you look through your backpack, and you do find a bag of trail mix provisions. They've got some berries and honey granola in there. You give it out to the little guy. He holds out his tiny paws and waits for you to pour it into his hands.
Oh, I'm gonna give him so much.
You see that he smiles a little bit. Smiles so big his eyes close. He does a little hop, and then he scampers back off towards the to the tree line. As you all sit around this fire, is there anything you want to talk about today? Any questions you might have, seeing Dragonblood's mood in a better place?
I'll probably pipe up and looking at my plate, looking food around, see some nicer cuisine this time than previous days. Special occasion.
He sort of his back is to you, but you can see just based on the movement of his shoulders, he sort of chuckles to himself. He turns back around and has that intensity he gets whenever he feels like victory. Like he has this look that when you see him, you have the urge to follow him. He has this presence, this charisma about him. And as he turns, he says, "Cassie, gather my hiking gear and get ready to take notes. For the rest of you, with no cloud cover, I saw something this morning. When the sun crested the ridge, the mountain over there to the northeast, it didn't look natural. I think we have a lead."
Interesting. You say not natural.
I mean,
Thinking-
man-made.
Interesting.
Ooh. I'm gonna go get my stuff.
Yeah, as soon as he addressed me, I bolted out, but I am, like, hyperactive trying to get everyone's stuff because I heard about ruins.
Heck yeah. Scarfing down your eggs and bacon as you're running tent to tent to get the bags out and getting your notepad ready. The rest of you wrap up your breakfast. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about while you're getting ready for a hike?
Florette looks very unenthusiastic, and she says, "Will this be a long hike?"
Well, most hikes are long. He sort of looks, knowing your demeanor, and having learned what kind of person you are. You see that he finds a little bit of humor in it, and he tries to dampen the truth to you a little bit. And he says, "We'll make it there by the end of the day." Well, actually, that's just a guess, but Abner, perhaps you could take a gander for me?
Sure. Where's the maps again?
He will head over towards his tent, and from this wooden table he has set up, he'll bring out a map to you, and he'll point over to the mountain that he's referring to. "Wouldn't you say that shouldn't take us all day, right?"
He'll walk over and he'll give a gander.
Take a look, and you reference the map. You look over, and you know that the ridge is easily a day's hike based on the distance, and because of that, you know you wouldn't arrive until at least nightfall. But that's to say if all of the weather is clear.
Looks to the skies.
Well, you happen to know somebody who might be able to tell you a bit about the weather if you let him know.
How's the weather looking outside?
I'll kind of stand up, look around, kind of do, typical, like my thumb over to the sky.
Your scars feel warm as the sun beats down on the tissue, and you focus on the direction of the wind, and you look down towards the clouds below, and the next layer above you that raises above the mountains. And you know that the weather will be clear for the rest of the day. You've lucked out. It's going to be a very mild day. Still cold for the mountains, but no harsh snow or hail or any other sorts of storms that you'll have to worry about through your traversal.
I'll kind of relay that back to the party. It's like weather. It's like, as far as I can tell, weather should be pretty clear through the day. No snowstorms or anything. If anything, as far as hikes to the mountains go, it should actually be fairly pleasant.
You'll see Dragonblood will grow a wider smile and say, "See, Clary, nothing to be concerned about. We'll get there in no time."
Well, you certainly are a man of optimism.
He lets out a laugh, and you see Wendy smiles down. She's still curled up next to the fire, but she smiles hearing the laughter of her trainer. You all finish up your breakfast. You get dressed and in your gear. Is there anything else that you want to do or talk about while you're in camp before you set out for this hike?
I think Owner's gonna go get his walking stick.
Okay.
I'll probably look around and offer if anybody has like a bag or something to carry. Old Hadley's pretty familiar with the elements, so happy to carry any heavy loads if anyone got them.
Okay. Dragonblood, you would expect the 85-year-old man to need some assistance, but he almost in a show of pride carries the largest bag, and it's loaded up probably with stuff that you don't need for a journey. You see pots and pans, but he likes to be prepared. You know that the old man does not like to lose, so he is prepared for any outcome that he could have fall before him. Your hike will take you away from the stable, snow-cleared base that you've made for yourselves. Wendy shivers, Wendy shivers, and she flaps her cloudy wings to lessen the size of the drifts that collect up here, almost like sort of dusting away the snow to clear a path. And your footsteps still crunch on the powdery snow beneath. Dragonblood seems full of vigor today, an excitement and pep in his step that you haven't seen on the expedition so far. It appears this morning's discovery has filled him with confidence. Cassie, could you please take note of any Pokemon we may encounter along the hike?
Oh, of course, Professor.
Well, thank you. I'm sure that this will help us get a better understanding on if the ecosystems are consistent throughout the range. It might change if we get closer to a structure that is man-made. You have several hours ahead of you on this hike. You're following the ridgeline. You're trying to find trails. You're climbing in spots. Is there anything that you do to pass the time? Anything that your characters have fallen into a routine of doing? Or any relationships that you may have with the other party members? Perhaps you try to play a game to pass the time on these hikes. What would you say you do?
Trying to think. I don't know if I have anything. My guy has anything in particular he'll do. He just kind of trudging along, enjoying the hike. Yep, enjoying the weather, enjoying not being blindsided by a hailstorm again, that kind of thing.
All right.
I feel like if we'd been expeditioning together for a while, that Cassie would have taken note of little idiosyncrasies for like everyone, asking if old wounds are not being exacerbated by the weather, or if nervousness can be set aside or excitement can be produced if she could help with any of that.
I think Dragonblood would just allow Cassie to run back and forth. He doesn't have any other instruction besides just take note of what he comes along. Does anybody else think that they would need Cassie's assistance?
I think that Magnolia
think
would
pretty much.
absolutely just dote on Cassie. I don't really think that she would really need her to do anything because she feels pretty self-sufficient. So she wouldn't really need too much help, and she would probably carry her own stuff if she was allowed by Cassie, but otherwise she's just there to kind of like support.
Okay.
Hadley probably wouldn't need much help. We'd probably mention to sort of keep an eye out for any rumbling or any like sudden changes of wind. Weather seems good up here, but number of hikers getting caught in freak weather more than I can count. So kind of just keep an eye on. If you notice anything, don't hesitate to send up a flag.
Okay. Vanessa, what about you? What would Claire be doing along this hike?
I think she's kind of just keeping her distance for the most part, focusing on walking. She packed lightly because she knows she's never really been much of a person with exercise expertise. She's always been more comfortable with, if anything, she's more comfortable swimming, but walking never been her thing. So she's just keeping to herself. She packed lightly so she doesn't have to struggle too much, and she is focusing on taking one step at a time.
Very fair. I'm gonna turn Kinku
I
down a
will
little bit
offer
more.
everyone hot coffee and water.
That Dragon Blood will take some of that. You know that it kind of grosses you out how he likes his coffee, because he prefers
no.
whenever you make him his coffee, he likes it to have the last cup of the pot, so it's where all the sediment resides, and he also asks that you add a little bit of salt in. It's very, very old man coffee. He drinks it like black tar, and follows along the path. As you continue on, and the hours pass, you're finding ways to entertain yourselves, looking out for new discoveries that you could find along this path. You see that heavy clouds follow the disappearing daylight. Mr. Hadley. The weather looks nasty. This is unexpected and unpredictable. Unnatural, even. But Dragonblood gains even more tenacity. His eyes are alight. Don't have fear, my friends. Unnatural calamities approaching us just as we believe to be near our goal, the Sinjoh Temple. That's a good sign, if you ask me. It means we were right. And as
Calamities?
he laughs, and as he does, you see that snow begins to fall in heavy flakes. He turns and continues walking. The unsettlingness.
Mr. Hadley, I think the weather changed.
That it has. I'm gonna kind of rub some of the scars. Like, well, I hope it's just snow this time.
Within minutes of walking, a mighty blizzard is whipping winds against your bodies, and that chill sets in once more. You're forced to cover your faces and shield your eyes in fear of them freezing from the sheer cold that assaults you. Can everyone roll me a perception check?
Da-da-dum.
Dang.
Man,
It's a 7.
7.
got
All right.
10.
10. Tara got 10. Possum got a 5, and Angel got a 9. All right. So those of you, everyone sees, or I am so sorry. Abner and Clary. The blizzard is blinding, and you are unable to see more than just a few feet ahead of yourself. You struggle to do more than just hold on to whatever cloth of the person in front of you that you can feel, and hold on for dear life in hopes that you're being led in the right direction. The rest of you, Magnolia, Will, and Cassie, you see a strange silhouetted movement of several figures a ways down the mountain. These figures appear to be ascending the ridge as well.
Professor?
Just up ahead, I see a structure. We can take shelter from the storm.
Were we expecting another team?
It's almost as if the winds don't carry your voice up to him, and this question lingers for you, and the silence is deafening. He pushes his old body forward at a swifter pace, while Windy flaps her wings in a vain attempt to lessen the impact of the wind. The ice only serves to weaken her. And before you, looming as before you, looming as a shadowy oasis from the frigid storm, is a massive man-made stone structure built into the stone face of the mountain. The overhang of the roof is all that denotes the temple, aside from the sheer surface with faded carvings on its surface, too dark to see in the night sky and blizzard. Dragonblood points to you all.
Please, come open the door.
I need everyone to roll me athletics checks. We're going to add our total up. We need to get a combined total of a 22 to open up this stone door.
That's a 7.
That's 8.
7.
15.
I also got an 8.
20, 28, and 33. Okay. You all push up against the door, desperately trying to get inside and safe from the blizzard. You push and you push. The frozen stone creaks open with immense weight, and you rush inside. With a combined effort, you could close the door behind you if you wish.
I feel like we should, if we're gonna use this as shelter.
Yeah.
You all press your backs up
keep the
against,
snow out.
push with your legs to close these massive stone doors. The space here is dark. The wind stops. But remarkably, it's warmer than outside in here. Peculiarly warm. Faint blue light glows from high up gemstones laid in sconces. Stone litters the ground as parts of this structure have collapsed and pillars have toppled. All the while, you feel as though you are not alone. This space is massive and segmented in various hallways, staircases, and rooms. There are no doors, however, it's easy to get lost in the halls. What would you like to do as you've arrived at your expedition's desired destination?
Cassie is like not in the present, just starry-eyed wandering this chamber that we're in and trying to make architectural sketches of everything she sees.
Heck yeah.
Are there any like remnants of plants or like moss or algae or any kinds of stuff like that?
Could you roll me a perception check?
Yes, thank you.
5. With a 5, you don't see any plants, but what you do is you have the faint smell of wild onions that doesn't seem to fade. No matter where you walk, it's as if this
Onion
entire
milk.
temple smells like wild onions.
I'm gonna just be like shuffling in a corner trying to look for the wild onions.
What about you, Clary? What would you be doing?
You said there were like carvings in the
Yeah.
temple, right? I'm gonna go, after I catch my breath, I'm gonna go examine the carvings and see if maybe any of them contain any imagery of the ocean or anything to help in my research.
Sure. Yeah. So as you walk around, and you just look at these large carvings along the walls. You find faded murals of large Pokemon standing atop mountain peaks and being illuminated by holy light. They stand almost like that scene from Lion King of Pride Rock, just standing on the edge of this rock, and a beam of light, a god beam, just rests atop them. As you continue around, you can see that following these murals and looking for anything that might pertain to your field of research, you find a tablature. This tablature depicts the legendary Pokemon Arceus. It would need some restoration and better lighting to truly decipher what it says, but you can at least tell that that's what it pertains to. What about you, Possum?
Abner is just going to be leaning against the wall, just watching the others go about their duties, as his part of the expedition has been fulfilled. Uh, he may go poke stuff with a stick.
Poke stuff with a stick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So you're looking around, and as you sort of check out some of the rooms, you find, you find a room with stone beds where caretakers or pilgrims likely slept. A tattered old leather pack remains by one of the beds.
What do we have here?
As you
He's
check
gonna,
it out.
yeah, he's gonna walk over. He's gonna look over his shoulder to see if anyone notices what he's about to do.
It doesn't seem like it. I mean, each of you are so enamored by this. Even Dragonblood is just, he's zipping around looking at everything, and you can hear his voice sort of echoing out throughout the halls as he over explains to Cassie, who likely knows a lot of the legends, but he's doing that thing of just retelling everything and giving all of his knowledge on the subject, as he points out some of the murals. So you know that no one's nearby you right now.
Yeah, Abner will lean down and like start ruffling through the pack.
So as you ruffle through the pack, you pick it up and you hear the clinking of glass. You open it up. It contains broken glass bottles, old clothes, and you find a rusted pan that you recognize that most gold prospectors would use to sluice out gold in rivers, suggesting that some time ago gold miners had found this temple and were looking for gold somewhere in the mountains.
He'll point that out. He'll start he'll rattle the bag a little bit just to bring it to everyone's attention. I found this.
Hadley, you're in the area.
This is the only thing that snaps Cassie's attention.
Clinking bottles, loud tinkling noises. Hadley,
I more so meant the idea that other people had been there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you zoom over with your notepad, and begin taking as many notes as you can. Hadley, what about you? What are you looking for?
I'm probably looking around. You mentioned it was like warmer in here, almost unnaturally so.
Yeah.
It's like I expect some insulation from.
Could you roll me a perception check? Let's have you look around.
But 12.
Okay. So as you wander the halls and you're looking for any entryways that your suspicion is that perhaps geothermal vents have their ways of being opened up in here, but you find no such thing. Instead, you come to the conclusion that that the warmth is coming from those crystals that are beset up in the sconces near the ceiling, probably 20 to 25 feet up in the air. This huge temple that you're in has vaulted ceilings, and you look over and you can see that the light illuminates the murals on the ceiling as well. And you see that most of them are faded, but the heat, you come to the conclusion that that's the source, are these crystals up top. And you're not exactly sure what they are. You don't know that you would be able to discern what they are without getting your hands on one. Through your research and searching throughout the temple, you do find an altar that is surrounded by several glittery offerings with precious gems inset, crowns and bangles, and different pieces of necklace and earrings, the jewelry that is beset around this altar as offering to something. You look up to the mural up in front of it, and you just see these gold rings is all that remains of something that was painted a long time ago.
Interesting. I'll probably flag over professor or someone with a little more archaeological knowledge than myself.
As you've traveled deep ways into the temple, each of you, you hear the stone doors to the temple open loudly and echo throughout the halls. And a gust of cold wind follows it, pushing away the heat. And then the doors close. And you can hear voices from back from that direction. What would you all like to do?
Oh, I didn't know if you guys heard me earlier. I saw another group of people coming up. I didn't know if we had another team joining us or.
Gee, Dragonblood looks concerned.
More people?
I look
Maybe
concerned.
plan. I couldn't tell what they were up to. We were in the middle of the blizzard, and
Well, perhaps it's another team of expeditioners. We could go introduce ourselves so we don't give them a fright. Yes? Don't worry. I'll take point. Just follow me.
If you say so.
Does anybody protest? Anybody want to do anything different?
I look sharply over at him and say, "Are you sure that's a good idea? We don't know their intentions at all."
He looks back and says,
Well, our alternative is if they are someone who is nefarious in nature, then there's not much we can do until they shortly find us. It's better to make ourselves known and we can get this issue resolved instead of giving them a scare and making them think that we were hiding from them. You, if you desire, could remain behind, Clary. There's no need for everyone. I could go handle the situation myself if you'd prefer.
I would prefer.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
one person going alone is a good idea, so I will go with you, Professor.
Why, thank you, Magnolia. The rest of you can stay behind if you wish. That's fine. Come with me, Windy. And he sort of waves forward, and the Altaria gently floats behind. Does anybody else go with Magnolia and Dragonblood, or do you stay behind?
Definitely staying behind for Clary, for sure.
Okay. Cassie?
Cassie's going wherever the most people go.
Okay. Abner and Hadley?
Abner looks visibly ill that there are possibly more people entering this ruin.
I'll probably stay behind, but kind of like quietly, almost like put myself in between like the rest of these folks and where the other people are coming on. Not necessarily spooked yet, but definitely keeping an eye out for if things go sideways.
Okay. So Cassie, then you'll stay behind as most everyone stays back there. But Magnolia and Dragonblood, you continue on down the hall, and you stop as you round a corner just to see who these people are. You see 3 individuals in heavy fur coats and hats walk down the main hall towards the altar. The person on the left is a tall, brutish-looking man. He carries a scar over his flat, bulbous nose, and he has a shaven face that's begun to grow its hair back. He has blonde hair that hangs out of the edges of a zigzagoon skin hat, and he wears heavy furs from what appears to be an arcanine based on the stripes and colors. Around his neck dangles an amulet of 2 5-pointed stars that lay over each other to create a red and orange sun with 10 rays. He seems to be relaxed, despite his resting expression of intimidation, and he spits small sunflora seed shells to the side as he walks forward, littering the temple. The person on the right is a bulky woman with vibrant ruby-red hair that has been styled into space buns with 2 long locks of hair that hang down like antennae far past her jawline. She is wearing multiple layers of clothes, with the outer layer being patterned like a Zebstrika, and her warm complexion suggests she is from a warmer climate, perhaps Alola or Paldea. Despite this, her nose and cheeks are freckled, and her eyes are a fiery opal. Her fur coat hangs baggy past her arms, and she seems curious about the temple she's in, looking up at the ceiling and the murals. The center man is shorter than the other 2, standing at a measly 6 foot even. He has a long, bushy mustache that hangs over his mouth, but a clean-shaven chin and cheeks. His eyebrows are like fuzzy wurmples and dramatically flared to make him appear perpetually angry. His heavy fur coat, clearly made from the pelt of an ursaring, with the upper skull resting atop his own. The 3 are accompanied by a Pokemon each. Behind the man on the left, an enormous Abomasnow looms a shadow over him, and you come to the realization that that unnatural blizzard was in fact unnatural. Behind the woman on the right clambers a clumsy Excadrill, and the man in the center steps aside to allow a Mawile to walk in front of him. The man in the center speaks, as if calling out to you, Magnolia and Dragonblood. We observed you entering this temple. We know you are in here.
I'm gonna look at the professor and I'm gonna kind of just like shrug because I'm like trying to imply like, do we wanna?
He shrugs and he'll step out. And as he begins approaching with you, Magnolia, the rest of you who remain behind, that feeling that you are not alone remains. Despite seeing the 3 individuals and their Pokemon, you know that there is another presence here shortly. Dragonblood.
It's alright, guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. It's alright, guys. Even if they are here to kill us, we'll go down with a fight. We won't let them take these ruins. Our venture will not be in vain.
We will.
And what makes you think we're capable of that?
Well, we gotta.
Right.
We
Let's
just
not,
gotta. That's the way it's gonna be.
look at
We
call
have
back to
to.
let's not jump to any rash conclusions. Let's just keep our wits about ourselves while I'm also looking around trying to see if I can notice anything about this, feeling we're still don't know everything that's in here with us. Just trying to find something.
Magnolia, where you and Dragonblood are. Hadley, while you're back there, you can't seem to find anything. The corners are a bit too dark, and they feel like movement is everywhere, but you can't quite pinpoint where it is. It's just this sense of unease that you have. Magnolia, where you are with Dragonblood, the man steps forward, and he says, "You will leave this place now.
We have come to take it for us.
I'm gonna look at the professor because I'm not trying to speak over him.
Dragonblood smiles, and you see that tenacity come back. The one where you know that if he gets that look on his face, there is nothing that would stop him from reaching what his goal is, what he desires most. He would tear the world in two to get to it if he needed to. And he says, "We won't be leaving. We're here just to find some samples for research, artifacts that may help us with our studies. We don't intend to stay here long. What do you mean by you want to take it?" And the man in the center steps forward a little. He says, "We believe that this place, it serves as proof of Arceus' existence, if he does exist. I have come here to prove that it does not." Do you have anything to say, Magnolia?
I think she would just honestly, like, she's not trying to be confrontational, but she's gonna take a step up by the professor and is going to say, "Well, Monsieur, that would not depend on if we are here or not. So we're going to go about our research and we can just go our separate ways."
I do not believe you heard me. I said you will leave. What could it be that makes you so adamant that you must come here and threaten a team of scientists just to prove that a Pokemon is not real? He smiles almost as if validated, and the man, the corners of his mouth lift, bringing the mustache above his lips so you can finally see his mouth. And he has these jagged yellow teeth. "You see, in my opinion, this world has become too reliant on the beasts that we live with. Is it not humans that create the technology that saved the beasts' lives? Is it not humans that create the civilizations for which they do not have to survive in the wilds? Places which they can feel safe, have free food, but yet we treat them like equals. I have come here to prove that the God that we all worship is not real. And if he is real, then I will capture him. And then what will be of a God, but a God of a God, if I own God?"
Monsieur, that power is not meant for humans. We live as equals because we are.
I did not come to argue politics. I came to see my vision through. I give you one more opportunity to leave.
Dragonblood plants his feet. Yeah, Dragonblood plants his feet, and he says, "We won't be leaving, sir." And he looks to the
I
both of you.
will equally stand right next to him and like plant my feet, and I'm gonna like look a little bit squintish, like I'm daring him to do something.
He looks over to the other two, and he looks over to his Mawile. He grabs hold of his wrist and slides up the sleeve of his Ursaring coat, and he reveals a mega band, and it begins to glow. His Mawile evolves. These two jaws that serve as its horns split into four, and he commands it forward. He looks to the other two. "Win, Nike, go find the rest of the researchers. Take care of them." They follow suit by raising their mega rings and mega evolving their Abomasnow and Excadrill. They begin charging off through the other rooms. Dragonblood turns and shouts for the other researchers to hide. Magnolia, what do you do?
I'm gonna let out a scream, like, have it echo around, like, the rocks and everything so that I know for a fact that they hear me, but I'm just gonna scream very loudly.
You scream, and the rest of you who have hidden behind back in the other rooms, what do you do? After hearing the scream and you hear Dragonblood command you to hide.
I'm gonna help the other three hide first.
Okay. And the other three of you, where do you try and hide?
Can you describe the room that Abner was in?
Sure. Yeah. So it's more of think of it like a quarters. So it's a rectangular room, several stone beds, stone slabs that are just laid on the ground. There's probably 6 of them, and like a carved stone shelf on the back wall. It doesn't have anything on it, but it's pretty barren. Looks like there could have been furniture, but due to the length of time that everything has been up here, most of it is collapsed and is broken pieces.
Darn, I was really hoping for like a closet to hide in.
You could hide behind like one of the beds, but yeah, there's no closets or anything like that.
Yeah, Abner will power walk very, very fast. Power walk. Like I would say he would go as far as to just lay down, like trying to hide in case anyone peeks into the room.
Okay. What about Hadley and Clary?
Are there any like crevices anywhere in the temple? Like any, I don't know, like split sections of the ground where like someone could duck in, or any like nooks in the
Yeah,
wall?
I would say that you could easily find maybe an area where one of the walls has collapsed in, and so
Mm.
you can get well behind most of the rubble and sort of crawl underneath some of the large rocks that are there. Um, as you crawl under here, that smell of wild onions becomes stronger. What about you, Hadley?
Yeah. Probably try and find some area where I notice the light is darker, where there's something I could probably get behind or under, and kind of just try to make myself as small as possible, really hard to notice.
Okay. Um, so cutting back over to, or what about you? What about you now, Cassie? Now that you've helped the other 3 hide, where would you hide?
She's not very used to having to hide not to get noticed, so she's just gonna try and squeeze herself into the corner beside the doorway so that if they look in, she'll be blocked by the
Gotcha.
edge.
Okay. Behind a lampshade. Uh, you Magnolia, you're up there with Dragon Blood. Do you run or do you stand beside?
I'll stand beside him. I'm not gonna leave him.
He points forward, and you see that Windy stances next to him, and he smiles with that same tenacity. A dragon's blood burns with tenacity. I won't stand down when it comes to my goals. You see, the man with the mawile. He gets this wicked grin. Funny, neither will I. But I am no dragon. I am the victor. Mega Mawile will turn itself to one side and coat its jaws, lift Dragon Blood up as it reaches over with a disgusting reach, 15 feet away from its body. You hear him scream as Mawile pulls, and his scream will be cut short as he's bisected at the waist, and his
Oh, geez.
viscera rains down on the Mawile.
Oh, we're fucked.
Wendy's screeches echo throughout the temple, and Magnolia, you run as the Abomasnow and Excadrill approach. You turn over to see a flash of silvery light blind you. All of you hiding, worried about what's happening. The same silvery light blocks your vision, and a sharp pull sinks your stomachs of everyone present. You're falling and falling and falling until you feel a heavy impact of the ground beneath your body. Magnolia, a grove of verdant trees with a misty floor and ferns growing as tall as you stand, surrounds you. You are no longer in the Sinjoh Temple, and you're not sure quite where you are. After standing and trying to get your bearings, you find the sky above is missing. Instead, there is an uneven, rocky ceiling illuminated by the flashing of lightning bugs high above, these Pokemon of blue and yellow lights. What are the thoughts that cross your mind?
I'm gonna be so honest. I think that she's just having kind of like a tiny meltdown. Um, because somebody who she loved and respected just got torn into two right in front of her. And so she's probably just gonna kind of like find the nearest tree, sit down, and have a good cry.
As you slump down, there's a rustling of leaves nearby, very close to you. Something's coming.
I'm gonna look up and the thoughts racing through her mind right now are basically like I can't believe that he was just gone just like that. And then the second that the sounds happen, she's gonna look over and she's gonna kind of like hide a little bit behind the tree, trying to hope that it isn't some of the guys who were just attacking are there now.
Okay. You get a good look. You try and make yourself small and peer through the leaves. The lights, these clusters of slowly blinking blue and pink lights, peek through the leaves in all directions, not just from where you heard the rustling. You realize you're surrounded. The lights slowly move forward like a waddle until several mushroom Pokemon appear before you. They have pink and blue colored caps. They hum at a strange resonant vibration that tickles the tip of your nose.
Have I ever seen these Pokemon before in any books or anything?
Give me a Pokemon education roll. And it'll be easier because these are grass type Pokemon, which is your specialty.
7.
7? Yeah, you would know these Pokemon as Morello.
Do I know if I'm safe or in danger right now?
This is a tactic that uses these Pokemon that these Pokemon use to lure their prey. However, you see that these Pokemon almost seem to want to be followed, which is the opposite of what these Pokemon usually do. They would make a noise and wait for you to come to them. However, these are coming to you. And then, once you're seen, they slowly walk backwards with smiles. Like I said, as if they want to be followed.
Hesitantly, I'll get up and I'll brush myself off a little bit, wiping away some of my tears, and I'm gonna start to slowly follow them.
Okay. You follow them, sometimes having to crawl on hands and knees to get through the thick brush. The Pokemon usher you through a dense and humid forest, like the lower level of a jungle. Eyes peer at you from the shadows. Bugs skitter up trees as you pass. Can you roll an acrobatics check?
Another 7.
Nice. A large seedling rests half buried in the dirt and nearly trips you, but you catch your footing before it does. The Morello looks sad at the seedling all of a sudden as they notice it. And then they look up to you and they continue their hum.
I'm gonna reach down and I'm gonna pick up the seedling.
as you try to pull up the seedling. It's a large seedling, and as you try pulling on it, it's heavy. You can't quite get it up out of the soil. The Morello look even more worried as you're trying to pull it up out of the soil. You know, you know that this seedling, in order to grow, would need more soil. It would need to be buried.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back down, and I'm gonna kind of scoop up as much soil as I can.
You don't even get it out of the ground. You try pulling on it, but it doesn't budge. It's that heavy.
Gotcha. Then I want to just let go and try to scoop up as much soil as I can onto it.
Okay. So you scoop soil and you try covering it, and as the soil that you scoop hits this seedling's back, and your tears are still falling down your cheeks, hitting the backs of your palm, the seedling begins to shake, and green head with a single leaf emerges up out of the soil like a little pop, and looks up at you with curiosity. It's a turtle-like Pokemon.
I'm gonna just like blink away and try to clear my eyes again, and I'm gonna get down on all fours and get like head and face level to look it in the face.
It sort of tilts its head, and you see that it sees your hands sort of covered with some of the soil, and it sticks out this long tongue and licks a spot of your hand clean.
I'm gonna smile a tiny bit through tears, and I'm gonna hold my hand up, like the one that it licked, and I'm gonna hold my hand up towards it to kind of go for the head a little bit, but very slowly.
Its eyes follow you intensely. It watches your hand, follows the movement, and even like tilts its head all the way up whenever you try to press the top of its head. And then you do, and he licks another part of the dirt off of your hand. And then you hear another and the blinking of the lights, as if to get your attention.
I'm gonna turn my head towards them, not moving my hand away from this little guy's head.
Yeah. They start backing up, trying to get you to follow again.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna brush myself off again. Does this little guy look like he can be picked up, or is he like really big?
I mean, he's pretty big. You could try and pick him up, but he's kind of like half buried right now.
Well, I'm gonna let him be because I figured that he wants to be half buried. And so I'm gonna go ahead and stand up and just slowly start to walk towards the little guys.
As you follow the Morello, you hear roots tear and soil shift as the seedling pulls itself up out of the ground. Could you roll a Pokemon education check?
11.
11. You recognize this as a Pokemon common to the Sinnoh region, indicating that wherever you are, you're confused as to how you are where you are. Perhaps the experience that you just faced back in the Sinjoh Temple was nothing but a dream, or maybe this is. But you know that this Pokemon is a Turtwig. And it begins
I'm
to
just
follow
gonna
you.
smile really big, and as it begins to follow me, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna be really thankful for a tiny bright silver lining amidst what I just had to deal with. But I'm gonna continue to follow the Morello.
The Turtwig has a bit of a hop in his step as he follows. You continue to follow the Morello. The earth becomes softer as you head further in, until you find yourself in a hidden grove. The soil is a deep brown and blends with the patches of emerald moss. In the center of this grove is a pool, no wider than 5 feet. However, it seems to have a depth similar to that of a well, and it dances with the bioluminescent Finneon who peck at the surface to eat the seedlings that land on the water. Across from you, a tall single flower rests and waits to meet you at eye level, red, beautiful petals.
I'm going to have like her face just kind of like look super shocked, and she's going to kind of run up and she's going to immediately start looking closely at the petals.
As your foot moves for the first time to rush towards it, you see the flower shift and two thin leaves on the petals rise, revealing themselves to be eyebrows. Before you is a Florges, clearly the matron of this grove. She raises an eye to you in suspicion as you approach, while the morellol bow to her. The turtwig who accompanies you lowers his beak to the soil and shakes his tail, sneaking small laps of water from the pool while bowing.
I will follow suit, and I will also bow.
As you stop yourself, you look at this Florges and you see the scene of reverence from all of the other Pokemon here. You lower yourself. The Florges smiles softly, like an approving mother. She raises her arms to signal above, and a Firefly Pokemon descends from the flickering lights above and sets down a wooden cup filled with crystal clear blue-tinted water before you. The reflective lights of the fireflies make it sparkle. She looks to you, and she extends one long leaf arm. She wipes away your tears and cleanses your face.
I love Pokemon. I'm gonna kind of look up and smile at her, and I'm gonna pick up the little cup, and I'm going to kind of slowly lean towards it, like with my face, to see if I'm supposed to drink this.
She just continues her smile, but you see the morellol start like bouncing in place, like they're dancing.
Okay, then I will absolutely take a sip.
As you drink, and as the water flows down your throat, you feel it as a sensation, a vibration that almost awakens an understanding in an instant. You feel the waving of the leaves of the trees. You feel the roots pulsing under the soil. You can hear the mushrooms sing. Tiny sproutlings emerge from the dirt and wrap around your ankles before snaking up the rest of your body, and your skin tints a shade of green like you're being overtaken by chlorophyll. You feel clean and pure, nourished and fulfilled. The Florges temples her petals and then gestures behind her. And as she does, the trees part, leaving a path with steps made of flat, stable roots.
I'm gonna skip upon the path, feeling now kind of like rejuvenated, basically.
As you do, and you try and push the thoughts of what you just saw away, these conflicted feelings, you can't help but feel this overwhelming joy and this purity that came from this grove. And as you skip, the turtwig bounces along with you, scampering down the path next to you. Abner, your skin hurts. It burns. Your eyes open to a cool blue room. A pale light refracts through the floor that you lay on, and you can see a spiderweb of cracks and veins like marble in the ice that makes up the room. Your breath steams before your face. Your fingers and toes burn, and you cannot stop shivering. The room you are in is roughly 20 feet in either direction, and light is entering the room from somewhere. You can't quite tell where. What do you do?
Just gonna start crawling.
You're crawling to get away from this pain that you feel, but your body too weak to get up. You don't know where you are, Abner. One minute you are in the Sinjoh Temple, and then that light overtook you, and you felt the fall that made you land here in this place. Can you roll me a survival check? 12. All right. You can see that the light, the light is coming from behind this place in the wall. You see wooden benches, an iron anvil, and what appears to be a large furnace that would be used for smithing are completely covered in a thick layer of ice, possibly inches thick. From the ice that covers the forge, irons stick out like a bouquet of flowers from a short barrel, and against one wall in the very center are 7 yellow gemstones. They form a perfect cross and were seemingly placed perfectly here. The wall also extends towards you with a hard pointed angle, as if growing in towards the center of the room, an imperfection in an otherwise perfect room by your calculations. The way out of this room is through the ice wall with the gemstones.
He'll look over to that and he'll make his way over. Does it seem like breakable?
You figure that it would take you some time to chisel through it. It's really your only option.
He'll lightly get to his feet and he'll start making his way over to where the forge was.
Okay. You head back over to the forge, and as you walk this direction, what's going through your mind? These feelings of survival and confusion are definitely at the forefront.
Cold. It's so cold. Why does it have to be cold?
Right? You make your way to the forge, this large stone furnace that's been completely encased in ice. There's that barrel of irons there, benches underneath the ice as well. What do you do?
Abner's gonna poke around through the barrel and see if he can find something to start chipping away for his freedom.
Yeah, one of those irons would do. You reckon? It's a long rod of iron. It's hardly covered in ice, but whatever you do grab it still does stick to your hand. They stick to your palms due to the draw ice, but you know that this would probably be your best bet at being able to chisel through. You find a smith's hammer in the barrel as well that you have to sort of pull to get away from the wood, but you do break it free.
After gathering those two, he's gonna shiver his way back over to the wall, and he's just gonna brace the this iron rod against the wall, and he's just gonna start swinging.
Okay. You put the rod up against the wall and you take your hammer. You swing once, and that single chisel at the ice wall is enough to make it shatter and collapse into powdery snow. However, the yellow gemstones remain hovering right in front of you. What do you think of that?
Um.
Immediately upon noticing this anomaly, they pierce into you at rapid speed. 1 in each shoulder, 1 in each hand, 2 in the chest, and 1 into your forehead. In an instant, the room feels temperate, a perfect climate for you, and the feeling returns to your extremities.
Oh no! 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 This is a dream. He's gonna slap himself really hard.
Slaps and echoes out. You hear it carry on ahead. Where the wall of ice was, as you expected, is now the entryway to the hallway out of this space. Sprawling ice fades a short distance away, so it seems that this cold is centralized to this room. And the slap wakes something up. Laying before you on the other side of that powder snow is a small, pale blue creature, resting its head on a hammer made out of ice, and it's using an open book as a blanket. Deep inhale and an adorable snore can be heard before it goes, hearing the slap.
As it stirs, Abner will approach, but at a distance.
It looks confused and it grabs its hammer really fast. And it holds his book in the other hand. It looks up to you. She's only about 2 feet tall. She has this cute little ponytail that sits on the top of her head. This smith's smock that she wears, and has this club, like a hammer made out of ice. Could you roll a Pokemon education check?
Ew. Oh, that's a 3.
A 3. You're not sure what this Pokemon is. You don't think that you've seen anything like this before. But here she is, and she seems a little standoffish, but as she gets a good look at you, she notices those yellow gemstones that stick out of your body. She seems to nod to herself in understanding, and walks over next to your ankle and turns towards the hallway as if to follow you.
Is that the way out? And he's gonna just point and ask this little creature.
She looks up at you and then lets out a big yawn and rubs her eye. You see that her book, as she sets it down, is titled "A Journeyman's Guide to Smithing." She does not respond to you.
Oh. And Abner will look at them, look at the way, look at them, sigh to himself. It was just a simple day. And Abner will look over back to them and say, we could, I guess go that way. And he's gonna start ambling along the hall, looking to see if this little creature will follow.
She follows at an even pace, following your ankle. And you noticed that whenever she saw those yellow gemstones, that seemed to be almost a sign to her that you are who she needs to follow. You continue down this hallway until the ice is behind you. Cassie, your eyes are out of focus. You stare blankly, dazed up at the ceiling. A faint yellow glow forms coronas in your vision, and your temples throb in pain. As your hands reach to apply pressure to soothe your headache, you feel your glasses and move them back into place. Just better. The world comes back into focus, and finally you come to understand your surroundings. You are in a library, and you lay on your back on a long table centered in the room, surrounded by long abandoned books whose dust you have disturbed. The tall shelves of books must be 15 feet high, and whoever owns this library cares quite a bit for antiquity, as several oddities catch your eye. The table's sturdy and doesn't creak as you climb off of it. On the far side of the room, the exit can be seen, but the hallway has been collapsed, blocking your path. What would you like to do?
So I look around, and I don't see any of the other expedition team here. I
Right.
don't know what happened to Dragonblood, but from what I heard, it did not sound good. Cassie takes her glasses back off and closes her eyes for a second. In every instance of danger in her life, her intuition has led her at least down a path that will eventually turn out okay. So she tries to picture a way out, and when she puts her glasses back on, she tries to follow that.
Okay. So, would your belief for a way out be to... Would you be looking for something clearly as a door, or would you want to be investigating your surroundings?
More investigating my surroundings. I figure if I find a door, then it will be clear, but for right now, I'm going to just analyze the shelves and the oddities and
Okay. So those
try to find anything that calls to me.
those oddities that you look, the books themselves, you see many titles that are regional histories and words talking about Song of Flames and things of that nature that sound almost like fantasy fiction. The pedestals, however, you see them evenly spaced throughout the room. Atop each of these pedestals is its own unique item, and you walk along them to view them. The first, an astrolabe made out of brass. It's embedded into the top of the pedestal. The plaque beneath it claims it's a replica of a much larger instrument that's used to chart and move the skies. Something that surely someone from the Middle Ages might believe is possible, being able to move the skies themselves and reposition the planet that you live on. The next, a smooth blue orb rests under a glass case. The plaque reads, "You don't know." Your gaze is affixed to the orb, and suddenly you are in a place that you aren't aware of, much like the place you are in now. Or maybe you do know this place. It feels familiar. Next to you is a small gray-green baby dragon with tusks. You point towards a cracked wall before you on instinct, and without control your mouth moves. "Now, Jaculus!" The Pokemon slams into the cracked stone, and suddenly you are right back where you were before, looking at that blue orb. Your vision is blurry. As you adjust your glasses, you come to the realization, Cassie, you don't need them anymore.
A little shaken up, I take my glasses off and I hang them off of the hem of my sweater.
You take them off, and you give yourself a look at that plaque again. The mystical gem of a Dragonair, useful for scrying. On the last pedestal is a figure, suspended within a golden glow. As you get closer to inspect, you see this figure as the same from the vision you just had, a baby dragon Pokemon with tusks. Its eyes are closed, resting, seemingly for an unknown period of time, but a long one based on the collection of dust and cobwebs on everything in here. On the plaque reads, "A dragon specimen from a peculiar part of the mountains, suspended within a stasis spell. Speak the creature's name to awaken it."
Before I do that, there were 4 pedestals or just 3?
There are 3.
Okay. Recognizing the dragon from whatever daydream I just had, I try to remember the name that I had said in the daydream, and I say, "Wake up, Jaculus."
With almost a thundering boom, the creature's eyes open, revealing ruby irises, and the golden glow fades slowly, lowering it down onto the pedestal, to which it looks at you with confusion and curiosity. And as you think back to what name it was that you said in that vision, you remember seeing yourself with that blue gem attached to your hip.
I pry the glass case off of the pedestal with the blue gem.
You lift it, and it moves with ease. It wasn't fastened or secured. You simply lift it like a dinner plate. You remove the blue gemstone. You feel a light, a presence from inside the gem. You can't explain it, but you feel connected to it. And it just adds
I hope
to the
nobody
layers of
misses that.
confusion. You pocket it, and the Pokemon hops from the pedestal, landing down on the ground, and he lets out a big stretch, and then lowers himself back down, looks up at you, and sort of follows close to your feet, looks up at the gemstone that you have.
I
can you roll a
Get
Pokemon
down onto
education
one
for
knee.
me?
Oh, yes. 4.
4. Yeah, I would say that you would need some assistance in identifying this Pokemon.
Yeah, the Pokemon were never my specialty. I get down onto one knee, and I hold out my hand towards him. I don't touch him exactly, but I just give him the opportunity to smell me.
He takes a sniff. He checks your intent, and he sort of takes a step back, and plants himself, and he just sits and watches. And then he begins looking around the room as if trying to get his bearings as well. He seems just as confused with his location as you are.
Ejaculus. It means to spear, to launch out. And then I look back over at the doorway, and I look at him with his tusks, and I remember the daydream.
You head back.
You and I are gonna be friends.
he almost tries to understand you. You can see that look of logic processing all across his face. But he looks over to where you're looking, and he slowly saunters into that small room, a seating area for which to read. And while the corridor to leave might be blocked, you do see that wall that has cracks upon it, just to the left of it.
I'm gonna point at the wall, and I'm gonna repeat what I said in the vision. Now, Ejaculus.
And you see he slams into the cracked stone with his spear-like head, and the rocks tumble, revealing a pathway before you. A hallway that you are now stepping into that heads horizontally, or laterally from your position. It would have been the same hallway that you could reach if you had gone through the door, but you had to make a new one. As you step into that, we move on to Clary. Rushing water, gasping breaths, blunt trauma. Clary, your body is swept along an underground river through bins and waterfalls and whirlpools. Your vision is present as glowing crystals light the path under the water, but your eyes can't seem to stay open due to the pain. You don't know where you are. A moment ago, you were beneath rubble, hiding from those intruders into the Sinjoh Temple, and now you're drowning, it feels. A weight crushing your chest. A particularly heavy knock to your head dims the lights, and you find yourself coming to an open expanse of water. Nothing around, no rocks, no crystals, nothing. Just the faint glow of lights coming from somewhere in the distance, and your lungs burn. You can't help but desperately claw for what you assume to be the surface, the only thing that you can orient as up. You feel your head grow lighter, and your body begin to give out. A voice vibrates through your body. A woman's voice, a beautiful voice, gentle, sweet, but piercing. It's a song, you think. It's musical, at least. What would you like to do?
I blindly start swimming towards the sound of the voice, just instinctively.
Instinctively, your body is compelled towards the sound of the voice, a true siren drawing you in. Just as your vision begins to fade, the voice brushes past your ear. If you still want to live, just breathe.
Against all my logic, I feel compelled to trust the voice. And so I take a breath.
As you open your mouth and you try to breathe, the water fills your lungs, and when you would assume this to be it, Instead, you feel refreshed. You begin to sink, no longer floating. However, strangely, you can continue to breathe. Your buoyancy leaves you, and after a long descent, your feet touch the bottom of this aquifer. No matter where you look, though, you cannot see the woman who's spoken to your ears, but you can hear her singing. Your heart is still drawn to follow.
As my heart feels, I do follow the voice, taking deep breaths of the underwater air and marveling at how I'm able to do this.
Now, this confusion that you feel of this backwards dreamscape-like area, do you think Clary would come to a conclusion in her mind of what this must be, or do you think that she wouldn't think anything of it and it would just be purely instinct at this moment?
I think she's thinking about it and forming theories.
Okay.
I don't think she's set on any of them. And at the moment, because the voice is still singing, her focus is more on that as opposed to the theories in the back of her mind.
Okay. So as you have reached the bottom, around you, as you take these long, leaping strides through the underwater aquifer, you can see that you are certainly not alone. Stunfisk panic to bury themselves, Shelder close their shells, and Agorbis swims past with a look of a predator stalking its prey, but something large scares it away. You continue forward, making these moon jumps towards the singing. And in your path is a short, cat-like Pokemon. It has pink and red stripes, needle spines for whiskers. It looks up at you unamused and stares.
I stare back, squinting a little bit, and then try to go around it.
As you go around, it floats towards you, unblinking and its body unmoving. It's propelled seemingly by a current, as its tail doesn't even wave. And it moves directly in front of your face and just continues to keep eye contact, its eyelids half open, lazily staring.
Am I able to speak underwater?
You try to,
Or-
and surprisingly, yes.
I continue to stare at it for a second, and then I say, move, very firmly.
The singing changes to a different key in an instant, and the cat's eyes open, and it bolts in the direction of the singing away from you. The singing then returns to normal, and you may proceed.
I ponder this for a moment, and then I chalk it up to a fortuitous occurrence and continue on.
The light at the horizon of your vision grows larger, slowly as you get closer to the singing. The song becomes a hum as you breach the glow of a shimmering pearl, casting dancing lights on the floor of the aquifer. The cat-like Pokemon you saw before swims enamored around a beautiful Pokemon, one with a fish's tail and upper body of an elegant sea lion, with flowing blue hair adorned with pearl strings and golden fastenings. A Primarina. She smiles softly to you. Do you still wish to live?
Yes, naturally.
Then make me a promise. A promise you can never, ever break. Swear that you'll protect this one. He took a liking to you. I am unsure why. He normally eats those like you. She refers to that cat-like Pokemon who saw you earlier.
I glance over at the cat Pokemon,
And then back at her with my eyebrow quirked a little bit. Why must I do such a thing?
She smiles. Because you want to live.
That is a fair argument. Then yes, I will take care of this creature.
He looks at you like sort of eyes half open and just stares. As you promise, the Primarina's eyes glow and the pearl pulses. Your body changes. You feel these subtle changes. You grow gills somewhere on your body, slightly webbed fingers and toes, and a small tattoo of a seashell. A sudden current pulls you backwards, yanking you out of the cave, while the cat swims swiftly after. Will. A cloud of pinks and purples move lazily across the ceiling, speckled with a billion twinkling lights. You find yourself jerked into place, a sudden loss of momentum from your fall, as you hit nothing, and it gives you whiplash. You hover roughly a foot above a narrow glass walkway. In all directions, you see nothing but the abyss and the ever-present and faint twinkling lights. One way leads to a lush red chair with a small table, and the other leads to a large circular dais with a brass scientific instrument spanning its entire surface. The platform to either is about 50 feet away from where you are now. Directly above you is a hatch door, about 50 feet up. What would you like to do?
So I'm floating.
Yep.
Do I have any ability to like control my movement at all?
As you try to position yourself, your feet are sort of drawn to the glass platform, and you are now standing on this glass walkway.
So I'll look over to the chair, over to platform with all the scientific instruments. Let's start with all the science instruments. Kind of walk that way. Seems like there'll be more over there.
So as you head over to it, it's just one instrument. It's just one large brass instrument that spans the entire surface of this dais. You walk over to it about 50 feet away. A large astrolabe, easily 10 feet across, lays affixed to a star-shaped pattern at one end of the outer ring. There is a large handle that can be used to drag the arm along the top of the astrolabe. What would you like to do?
What symbols are there on this thing?
You notice.
Is there anything make sense? Yeah.
You notice a star shape. You notice a feather. You notice a balloon.
Yes, I'm curious. So I'll walk over to the little handle.
Okay.
Kind of just because at this point I probably don't think it does anything. Kind of just nudge the handle and kind of try and move things over to where it's sort of pointing at or indicating the feather.
Okay.
Kind of just see if anything happens.
Now, a question for Hadley. He's in this otherworldly space, quite literally. What sort of things are going through his mind?
Probably kind of confused, wondering where all of his companions are. Not entirely sure what's going on, thinking this is absolutely not what was told to him when he accepted this mission, of course. And probably kind of just out of reflex, sort of shoving these questions to the side for now and focusing on where am I, where do I need to go, how do I get there.
Okay. So you try and move the handle to the astrolabe. Could you roll a technology education check?
Yeah. 7.
You move the handle and you feel that it is on a track. Your only option is to pull it towards the feather. You know that it could move again, and that is perhaps going to send you over to the balloon, but for now you can only move it to the feather. You move it to the feather, and as you pull the handle, the stars above you shift, moving the constellations as you do so.
Interesting.
The heavens themselves have been moved, the stars have shifted position, and the floating nebulae disappear from view.
Interesting. Am I able to move it further over to the balloon, or is it kind of stuck at the moment?
Yeah, you move the handle now over to the balloon, and the sky moves once more. Back as you move it to the balloon, you sort of move it back to the star, and you can see that it does it again. Can you roll a perception check?
19.
19. Yeah. You see across the platform, across the walkway where the chair is, in front of the chair is a star-shaped constellation. Do not say all constellations are star-shaped because they're made of stars.
I wasn't going to, but probably worth pointing out. So I'll probably see this, move the handle back to point at the star, and then make my way over to the chair.
Okay. You head back over towards the chair. You see that it's just this red plush chair. It looks like think like 1920s, that sort of like chase style. Dark wood, and then there's a table that sits right next to it. Nothing's on the table, but you find yourself seated, and you're comfortable inside this chair. You look ahead at that star constellation. It seems to gleam wherever your eyes affix, and as you move your gaze, so does the brighter twinkle.
Interesting. If my gaze, brighter twinkle, moves with it.
How much you interact with the constellation using it.
Interact with the constellation using this. Does anything happen if I tried to like sort of trace out a constellation with sort of like moving from star to star with my eyes, something like that?
Yeah. So as you trace the star with your eyes, it glows with a line connecting each dot that is in the sky. And all of a sudden, you see a myriad of golden sparks and glitter as the constellation explodes and you don't see it anymore. From a far distance, several meteor race past like a meteor shower, seemingly summoned by your gaze upon the constellation.
Interesting. Are they doing anything, or are they kind of just watching me?
They, like I said, it's like a meteor shower. They go past, and then they're gone.
I got you. Interesting. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna wander over back to that science instrument and move the lever back to the feather.
Okay.
And see if anything different happens this time.
As you move it over to the feather, you see that now, in place of the star constellation, is a constellation of a feather.
Guess go back to the chair and do the same eye tracing exercise.
Okay. You sit down in the chair and you follow the outline of the feather, and again it explodes into a myriad of sparks and golden lights. And you hear a fluttering of wings as something rests upon your shoulder. A small Pokemon with a long, thin beak. It's got red along the beak and around its eyes, black feathers, and a gray belly. Can you roll me a Pokemon education?
That'll be 8.
An 8, you recognize this Pokemon as a Pikipek.
Kind of notice as it lands on my shoulder, kind of glance over, and I was like, "Hey, little guy, how the heck did you get in here?"
He begins quickly tapping you on the noggin.
Hmm.
And he doesn't seem to stop.
It's like, I'll kind of playfully kind of bat him. He's like, yeah, you don't need to put another hole in there. Don't worry. It's
You
like,
bat him
just
away,
lay
and
off.
he flies a moment away, and then he swoops back, and he lands on top of your head, and just continues.
Well, at least this one isn't trying to kill me. I'll wander over and repeat all these steps, but for the balloon this time.
Okay. You move the handle over to the balloon, head back to the chair. You follow the outline for the balloon, and as you do, and the constellation explodes, you see an enormous driftbloom that is heading in your direction, closer and closer to the platform at a rapid pace. The air thins, it becomes impossible to breathe. The driftbloom is sucking in all of the air. If you wish to survive, you know where to get your air. What do you do?
Each 5, I'm gonna need to get up to that hatch. Right?
The driftbloom floats closer to the platform, drawing in more and more of the air.
Mm,
You could go for the hatch, or you could go for the driftbloom.
I don't know what all I could do to the drift blim, but I don't really have a way to fly, so I guess I'll go for the drift blim.
Okay. You know that it's pulling in the air. You know that it's keeping it inside of its body. You could try and get your air back.
Let's do it.
So you leap. You grapple onto the driftbloom. You throw your head into the underside, breathing in as much air as you can. And as you breathe in the air, it causes a vacuum to form. And all of the air within the Pokemon is forced into your body.
Oh,
The driftbloom floats away like a fluttering piece of canvas. And your body feels light as a feather. You feel the air around you move at your command. And you don't quite understand it, but you have a feeling you could probably reach that hatch now.
interesting. Should probably stand there back on that little platform. Little guy's probably still pecking at my head.
Yeah, he seems to be catching his breath, and so you see him like, and then whenever he catches his breath, it goes right back to.
Like that's like, want to get out of here, little guy?
He stops. He like looks at you. He hears your voice. He hops over to your shoulder.
Kind of chuckle at this. Look up at the hatch. He's like, well, might as well give it a go.
You squat.
I'll leap for it.
You squat all the way down to the bottom of the glass platform you can, and you launch yourself straight up like a spaceman and grab onto the hatch and push yourself through. And on the other side of each of these doorways that you have all found yourselves to have passed through, Clary, you are spat out from the water and land on a stone platform just before the entrance of this aquifer. A hallway before you. Abner, you continue following your way down this labyrinth. Cassie, Magnolia, Will, three of you find yourselves in similar predicaments, following these long, winding hallways in the only way that you can, until it opens up into a large room. One that has a spiral staircase, a circular room that's a chamber with a staircase leading all the way up to the ceiling, about 40 feet high. As each of you exit from different hallways, you see yourselves. You come to this nexus together. What do you do?
You're all okay.
I think so. I'm gonna look around to everybody, look over at Magnolia and be like, looking a little green in the gills. You okay? looking a little green there.
Magnolia?
I'm
Madam
going
Star?
to I'm going to just look at them and I'm just gonna break down crying and like just fall to my knees and hold on to my little turtle friend.
Um,
I'm going to kind of start to explain and be like, it was the professor. He fought against the Mawile and the Mega evolved and it killed him.
Like sort of stone face, kind of somber at this. Kind of look around to everybody else. Is everybody else okay? Like,
Yes. She clears her throat a little awkwardly. She's not really sure what to do with a sobbing person, and changes the subject slightly by saying, I see we all have new companions.
looks to be the case. Imagine this thing's still just.
Yeah, I did.
You just hear weeping in the background.
Abner is gonna clasp
Um,
clasp his hands together and like side eye this person who is having an emotional breakdown right now and is unsure of how
God.
to comfort them.
We are not great with emotions.
He's also kind of side-eyeing.
We're a
none of us
science
know what
team.
to do.
We're not prepped for this.
But I'll probably like.
Cassie, yeah. Cassie goes over to her and like kind of stilted, not sure how to, but realizing that nobody else is going to, pats Magnolia's shoulder. Like, it's okay. He died protecting what he loved. His life did not end in vain.
I'll probably sort of kneel down, kind of trying to choose like. It's like, hey, look. Still very awkward, but it's like. Yeah, exactly. Like. Probably just kind of looking at us. It's like, all right, Matt, this is very dramatic. I don't want to downplay it. Just glad to see, that we all still made it out of there, you know, unscathed. However, that happened. Whatever that
Just gonna kind of like,
whatever that flashlight was.
I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna wipe off my tears and hug my little friend again one more time. And then I'm gonna kind of just get up and dust myself off Okay, I'm very glad that everybody made it out.
Not to take too much of a lead here, but if we made it out alive, then I'm certain that those bad actors did as well. We don't know if they're also here. We should probably stay alert.
You're
Not a
right.
bad idea.
It will help having Pokemon companions this time.
Definitely. I just like to picture that I stand up from kind of, chatting with Magnolia and helping, and still not being used to the whole wind thing, kind of like start floating away for half a second.
Oh,
It's like, whoop,
Your
then just
frowns.
drop
it
back down
appears
to the
we've all
ground with
had
the
some
thud.
changes.
I was gonna like look up with like my mouth just open, like, what?
Oh,
Yeah.
we're dead.
Yeah, that's a new one. Still getting to grips with it.
Each of you has been changed in these subtle ways. Magnolia definitely has the more green tinted appearance from the chlorophyll. Clary, where would you say that your gills are positioned? Would they be in view or would they be hidden? And the seashell tattoo you got as well, I'll allow you to choose where that is.
I don't think the seashell. I don't think the seashell tattoo is in view, but I would say the gills are probably poking out of the top of her, like on her neck, poking out of her, I guess, collar if she's still wearing the same clothes she was wearing.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, you see Clary has what appears to be gills. Magnolia has this green tinted appearance. You notice that Cassie has her glasses hanging around her collar. Abner is this pale icy blue, and Will's hair won't seem to stay sat down, no matter what. It's sort of floating away from his head in all directions. He's constantly having to brush it back down, but it just picks back up. Each of you touched in some way. You find yourselves here in this place. You know that you want to be alert, but the only way out seems to be up. You know that you're underground based on the various places that you have experienced in your brief journeys here, and this staircase could be the way out.
I guess we try this way.
Seems like the only way.
Start heading up the staircase, following the spiral, this helix that extends up towards the ceiling. And eventually you make it to a landing that carries up to a hatch. Push it up, and the scent of the faint smell of fire burning, a log, a fireplace, fills your nostrils. You push yourself up into this large seating room. The mantle has a fire burning, a low fire burning. It's dimly lit in here, illuminated only by that fireplace. And as each of you come out and lower that hatch back down, you see this aged rug with this intricate floral design on it, lush chairs and couches, tables and counters, drinks, hanging herbs, books. A medieval cottage, it seems. And you hear a voice come from somewhere in the room. Oh, you finally come. And that is where we will take our break. Hello, everybody. I am Devil Toad DM, and I'm here with our players for the second half of Session 1 of the Gradient League Ruin. We have Jogsaw. Tyrannical Terror.
I didn't pick up. God fucking.
Passive Awesome.
Howdy.
Angel.
Hello.
and Vanessa.
Hello.
When last we left off, you all had just crawled your way out of 5 harrowing experiences laid out before you after one harrowing experience, the death of the Pokemon Professor Dragonblood. You all have gathered here together within the bowels of some structure. You found yourselves changed after your harrowing experiences, each of you with newfound abilities and feelings, sensations, connections that your bodies feel to the elements. You ascended a spiral staircase, finding yourself in a medieval cottage, a cozy, warm space with a crackling fire, antique rugs and books, furniture, and you heard a voice. "Oh, you're finally here."
Huh?
You see this large figure begin shambling towards you. This bushy, furry creature. And as the light illuminates him, you see the reflection of 2 circular glasses. And you see this pinkish red bag that is fastened around his belly. He is a long serpentine creature with a bob haircut and a long beard that has been fastened and with different jewelry. You see these long feathered hands that he uses to crawl around on, and a long tail with a brush at the end. This is a Drampa. "Are you all who I've been waiting for?"
Who have you been waiting for?
"Well, the great wizard Arturo told me that someone would be coming here in about 800 years or so, and that I'm supposed to help them. Would that be you?"
Huh?
800 years
Depends
is a
on
long
Oops.
time.
when 800 years ago was.
Yeah, you're asking a lot of questions. He sort of looks overwhelmed. You
year
see like
did
these
the wizard
stress
tell you?
lines above his head. What did you say?
Go ahead.
He sort of looks at each of you. He says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's you guys. I'm Gigi. I'm the guardian of this place. I served with the great wizard Arturo many, many, many years ago, and I've been waiting for you for a very, very long time.
What?
Question.
How does that work? I'm confused.
That also, what year did he tell you all of this? Because maybe it wasn't actually 800 years ago. We can just do the math here, because we know what year we're from.
Well, I don't really keep track of human years. I don't keep a calendar. I just follow the sun. So 800 years, that's how many times the sun did its thing. As for you, how does that make sense? Well, I've just been sort of laying here on this couch, waiting for you to get here.
And that's it. That's
Well-
all you've been doing.
Well, no, not the great wizard Arturo. Me. The great wizard Arturo, well, my master passed away several centuries ago.
Well, that makes
You
sense.
poor dear.
So, what is it that we're supposed to allegedly be helping with?
He smiles. "Well, I'm glad you asked." And you see this long, curly mustache that forms his jowls sort of extend out to the sides. And he gives you a big, toothy grin. He looks like the dentist sticks dog. He looks over at each of you and says, "My master believed that through his visions he had confirmed that our world will have a great calamity sometime in this century. He told me that long after he had died, I would be here, and 5 young travelers would emerge from the depths, sent here
for their purpose to be fulfilled and change the world forever. And that's you guys.
It is?
Yes.
Oh,
Change
How
the
do you know
world.
it's us?
Because
We're
there's
just a
five.
research team.
Yeah, but there's 5 of you, and that's like the whole prophecy.
Well, what if another 5 came along? It could be them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like groups of 5 are fairly common.
Yeah, I don't wait.
Do you have other identifying factors the great Arturo gave you?
I don't feel like waiting any longer.
That's so real.
I mean,
That
Well-
feels like
800 years
Well-
sounds
well-
a long time.
He sort of pats his chin with one of his feathered hands, and he looks at all of you, and he says, "Well, let me ask you a simple question. Are you from here?"
where's
where's
Like,
here?
Where is here?
Exactly. How'd you get here?
Probe?
I was in a library.
How'd you get in that library? You sneak past me? You sneak
fell
past me,
asleep.
go down that hatch?
I don't know, I was asleep. I
Mm.
sleepwalked. I'm sorry.
So none of you have any recollection as to how you got down there, huh?
Well, we've been through a traumatic event, apparently, so give us some time.
Did this traumatic event cause you to slip past me, descend a 40-foot staircase, and find yourselves in various rooms of the underground?
No.
I'm
I mean,
sorry. Jesus, was it? You're being really aggressive right now.
Listen, all I'm trying to
We're
get at
coping
here...
with a lot.
All I'm trying to get here is that you said that there could be another 5 adventurers. And from my perspective, the 5 of you are sent here from a place that's from a different time. And you've gotten here in a way that you don't know. That sounds like you're the 5 prophetic folks to me.
Clary kind of scoffs and says, well, time travel isn't real, so
He sort
sorry
of
to burst your
shrugs.
bubble.
Sort of shrugs. He says the crystal doesn't
I-
lie.
I don't hate to. I do. Well, jeez. I do hate to step on your toes there, Dr. Mason, but, I did see into the future earlier. I didn't want to bring it up. I thought it was weird. I'm sorry.
What? Oh, God.
I learned Jaculus's name from myself. I think I named him, but like future me knew the name already because past me took the name from future me, and
Clary stares at you completely uncomprehending.
I think I'm gonna call him Jack because Jaculus is really long to say every single time.
Mhm.
Well, I'm just saying if prophecy is real, then why not time travel?
Is he
Some
asleep?
part of my
Huh?
memory went
I do
forward
believe
in
he's
time
asleep.
and came back.
No?
So you said you've been waiting for us for how many years now, and you fall asleep in front of us?
800 years.
I'm gonna walk over to him and I'm gonna just like start petting his neck.
What are you
also,
doing?
Poor dear's tired.
For those of you who do not know Drampa's dimensions, Drampa is 12 feet long. So he is a big boy.
He big.
Or 9'10", excuse me. 9'10", and about 400 pounds. He's a big fella. So he looks, he's like, listen, we could talk about the specifics of whether the prophecy is real or not, or but the fact remains that you all are out of time. Haha, get it?
Uh-huh.
Could you
Right.
put us back in time?
Well, I can't, but that's what you're here for. Your events are supposedly gonna save the world and get you back to your own time.
Oh.
Oh, well,
Uh,
that
How
in
do
the
we
first.
do that?
He like sort of like sifts through his bag, his little bag on his belly. He's like, well, I can tell you a little bit about this place, but
The great wizard Arturo didn't give me the specifics.
I mean, we'll take what we
What
can
did the
get, I
great
guess.
wizard say?
Well, he says, and he starts counting on his feathered fingers, that 5 young adventurers from another time would come here, and then their events would help save the planet, and their actions would shape the future as we know it. Not to mention that, but that's how they get back. And I'm supposed to stand here, wait for you, and then teach you everything I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that everything you know?
Are any of you, like, freaked out by a talking Pokemon, by the way?
Clary's unimpressed.
He assumes he's hallucinating.
I thought I was dreaming this whole fucking time.
He
The
sort of
events of the past however long, I think that the talking Pokemon is the least of Will's concerns at this point.
That's fair.
Dude
There
can
are a
fly
couple
now.
of you encountered talking Pokemon, right?
Just one.
Looks down at at the Pokemon that has been shadowing Abner since the hallway. You can't talk, can you?
She like tilts her head up to you and then like looks at her hammer as if thinking, and then looks up to you and shakes her head.
Oh,
Any chance I recognize that thing?
Could you roll a Pokemon education check? And Dr. Clary, you may do the same for your Pokemon.
Right.
Sad.
I think Magnolia is also just kind of like in the background, like doing that kind of like laugh that people do whenever they're under a lot of stress.
Okay.
It's breaking down.
So, Will, you recognize this Pokemon as a variant. You would assume it to be a variant because it's not quite the same color and you could tell it's a different type than the Pokemon Tinkatink. Clary, you identify yours as a variant of the Pokemon Litten.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, relay my realization with Mr. Abner.
If
Oh.
either of you want to figure out what Jack is, that'd be nice.
looks over,
I have no idea.
gives a glance.
Can I?
Does
Also,
Abner
I also
know?
look over.
Yeah, Magnolia, why don't you roll a Pokemon education?
10.
For a 10, you can tell that this is an Axew. His tusks are sort of in the wrong spot, but he looks like an Axew.
It looks like an Axew, but with a little bit of a change to him.
That's what we call wabi-sabi.
What now?
What?
Isn't that a spicy sort of food
What?
thing?
You can't just make things up.
I would like to now introduce a new viewer reward that we I've added. For 300 viewer points, you can redeem Make Gigi Say Something. And I will say whatever you throw in chat for your viewer reward redeem.
Oh boy.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Oh no.
He's a senile old dragon.
What could possibly go wrong? Alright. So we're here. We all have some weird stuff going on.
And there's 5 of you.
Yes, and we need to save the world, and you're going to tell us what you know.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Well,
Do you know?
I wanted to give you guys time to process things. You said that you were having a bit of a conniption, a traumatic event, and I didn't want to be rude. You know, I do care.
Oh. Well, that's very kind of you. Consider things processed. Tell us what you know, Mayhaps. Please.
He clears his throat, and he lifts up his head, and he sort of straightens himself out. I am one of the Pokemon of the great wizard Arturo, the leader of the expanse of magic knowledge that anywhere in Vengia could learn. Do you have Vengia where you come from?
No. What?
Ah,
What is
I think
that?
so.
Would I have heard of Vingia? I study anthropology.
could you roll a general education?
Yes.
10.
Dan.
Vengia was the supercontinent that existed many, many millennia ago.
Oh no. Well, it may have broken up, a little while ago.
Oh,
Hmm.
so like you guys lose?
What?
Well, you're supposed
What
to
do you mean
save the
lose?
world, and you said that it breaks.
No.
Yeah, like plate tectonics.
Huh?
You know how the surface of the Earth is moving around at all times?
What?
Okay.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
The great wizard Arturo is a magical genius, the most respected figure in all of arcane history, responsible for most magics we know about today. And you are in his wizard keep. You came up from the depths. We call that the undermines.
Okay.
Those were different parts of his
You have an
resource laboratories. Undercraft. I hope you had a good tale down there to tell for the future. Each of you probably came from a different spot of his laboratories, likely tested by some sort of test of morale to make sure that you were actually the prophetic savior that I've been waiting for. Now, do you know how you got here? He sort of scratches his head and tilts it to the side.
A bright
Well, we were sent on
white
an expedition.
light.
Yeah,
Right.
also that. We were in a temple. And, there were some bad dudes, and they... Our professor isn't with us right now. But, we were supposed to be studying a temple.
He lowers his head, and he moves a little closer, and he moves one of his feathered arms around you and pulls you in for a hug. He says, "I'm so sorry, child. It'll be all right, though." And he scoots back into place.
I'm 19. I'm technically an adult.
Ah, well, I'm over 800 years. I've been waiting for you that long. You're a kid to me.
Oh,
Fair.
okay.
I only said I've been waiting for 800 years. I'm closer to 1,000.
Oh.
Oh,
What
jeez.
have you ate? I mean, if you've just been down here, what have you been eating?
Berries?
Oh, can I have some?
He opens up his fanny pack and he hands you a couple berries. Grandpa's got you,
Like,
son.
handing out butterscotch.
He hands you 2 berries. You can have 2 oran berries to add to your inventory.
Yippee!
Well, I'm supposed to take you to the king's castle so you can learn about the area and get prepped for your epic journey. Sound good?
Okay.
I gotta remember
Do you know where
that is.
exactly our journey's taking us by any chance?
The king should know.
Okay then.
Sorry, memory's a little foggy.
It's all right. 800 years. I
Yeah.
don't blame you.
I have a question.
Yes?
How are we gonna get an audience with a king? I haven't even finished my bachelor's.
He reaches into his bag and he removes an item, and whenever he does, you smell the gentle scent of frankincense.
this small incense burner that he carries is very intricate, and it looks extremely old. And you see on the bottom, as he lifts it up with his teeth, on the bottom is stamped in this calligraphy style A. Proof that I'm from Great Wizard Arturo. And he puts it back in the bag.
I guess we just show that to them and.
Yeah, now we just gotta hope that people still remember who that is.
Excellent.
What if they
Listen,
don't?
well, I have faith in my master. He knew what he was talking about. The crystal never lies.
Oh no. We're being led
Well-
along by a senile old Pokemon.
I suppose we have no other choice, really.
Yes. Kind of the best shot we've got is figuring out how to get all this stuff worked out, so.
Right, especially if time travel is real and it's not lying to us, then we will have no bearings otherwise on our own.
Huh?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I heard something.
Oh, no.
He turns around and he says, "Say, I think I remember something. You all said that you saw." He sort of waddles closer to you. He gets really close to you, Clary. And he said, "You all said that you saw a bright light before you got here."
Mm-hmm.
I see that sometimes, and I just gotta remember to breathe. But Great Wizard Arturo told me that it was a legendary Pokemon that would bring you here. Proof that you are the prophetic 5.
Oh.
Well. Alrighty then.
I kind of lean back away from him and say, "Yes, thank you for sharing."
Well, did that happen?
Yes. I
You
did.
only saw
I will
light.
say I did need to breathe in my case, although I don't know if that was a shared experience.
I had a little trouble
I
breathing
was
at one point.
doing okay breathing.
I just kind of closed my eyes and then everything hurt.
Oh.
Interesting.
I closed my eyes and suddenly I had 20/20 vision.
Where did it come from?
I'm gonna
God, you
save
don't
all my
have
money.
your glasses, do you? And I'm just gonna
We're
walk
not
over and
built the
start
same.
patting your cheek.
Oh,
I can breathe underwater now, apparently.
what?
Yes, I know. Look, and then I
What?
show her my gills.
What? Yeah, did anyone else get like superpowers?
I mean, I don't know if I'll tan like a dark blue. But my skin is
I'm just
blue.
gonna look down at my own skin, which is now slightly green, and I'm gonna look up and be like, I don't know if it's a superpower or a disease.
I imagine I'm kind of floating almost sideways, and it's like nothing different from what I think of.
I think I'm a little bit glad that I just got the library and the good vision. I got LASIK.
Well, I suppose our powers existing does give what he says some merit.
Gigi laughs a little bit and he says, "You know, I like you guys. You're a special bunch of kids. Don't worry, Grandpa'll take care of you. Follow old Gigi." And he starts heading towards the door.
Without any hesitation, I'm following this guy.
So you guys said
Professor Star. Okay.
You guys said that a legendary Pokemon brought you here?
I just saw bright light.
You said that.
Oh, I thought you said that.
No, it was you.
No.
Oh,
No.
he thinks
You
for a
sort of
minute.
assume.
He thinks for a minute. Oh, Arturo said that. Well, did you see a legendary Pokemon?
I saw
I
a
fell.
Well, maybe if you recap what you saw, what you experienced before you got here, we could deduce it down. Maybe that'll help us.
We did.
Well, you didn't really tell me what happened before. Just that it was bad. And you don't have to touch on the bad parts.
All right, well, I'll just start. I was in the ocean. I thought I was drowning. A voice started singing to me, told me I could breathe. Indeed, I breathed. I followed the voice. There was a seal Pokemon, and suddenly I had this thing with me, and she points at her Litten variant.
You met old Naiad, huh? She's still alive?
It would appear so, yes.
Well, she's no legendary. I meant before that.
Oh.
Was it only Magnolia that smelled the onions?
I think,
I smelled onions as well in the wall where I was hiding.
Onions? I like onions.
Yeah, I guess before all that, we were just hiking through mountains.
Where
just
were
on
you?
an expedition.
If there was another Pokemon, I didn't see it. I was a bit preoccupied.
There was a temple to Arceus.
That is true.
We
There
were
was
in there,
a
research, just
slight-
looking around, and some people showed up. And
There was a type of gang that attacked the professor, and then a Mawile was attacking us, and then I was running, and I saw bright lights come after me, and then all of a sudden I woke up outside.
I just remembered.
What?
There was another part of the prophecy. There are gonna be 3 others that came with you. And you gotta beat those guys to go home.
hell.
Why did you say 5? There are 8.
Well, you're the 5 good guys.
What else are you
kind
to
of
spontaneously remember after the fact?
Listen, my job was to protect the prophetic 5, all right? Not the other 3.
Do you know, did your memory tell you if they're already here or if they're coming after us?
Arturo said you'd be safe here.
That doesn't end. Okay.
Better than nothing.
Well, if it's not out, it's over. If we don't keep going forward, we will surely die. So, unless we all want to be like Professor Dragonblood, which I'm not super keen on anymore.
You are a little ray of sunshine, aren't you? Dear God. Just gonna, kind of look sick all of a sudden.
Oh, did I say something wrong?
Gigi
Either way.
says, do you guys know any legendary Pokemon?
Oh my god.
Not personally.
I had a focus on Unovan folkloric studies.
I don't know
I think
what
I
that
saw
is.
one time.
Okay. What do you mean you saw one time? What? Hang on. When?
Yeah, pretty sure I saw him one time. Real little kid, big flood, back home. It was a whole deal. That's why I'm doing all this other stuff now.
Oh. I'm sorry I never asked before.
Hey, what are all your names?
Cassandra Brandt? Or, well, everyone calls me Cassie.
Nice to meet you, Cassie.
Okay.
Will, nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you, Will.
I'm Dr. Claret. You can call me Clary.
Nice to meet you, Clary.
Likewise.
Abner.
Nice to meet you, Abner.
I'm Professor Magnolia Stark.
Nice to meet you, Magnolia. If you don't mind, I'm going to call you by nicknames. It's easier for me.
What?
Sure.
Okay.
All right,
What sort of
Everyone
nickname?
does anyways.
Well, yours is already a nickname. You can be Clary. That's all right.
Okay, thank you.
Cassie, you can be Cassie. Will,
It
you're
is a
Billy.
nickname.
Sure.
Magnolia, you're Maggie. And Abner, you're Abby.
Oh, Abby.
Oh.
Okay.
How quaint.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! And he like pushes open the door, and you see like a warm sunlight enter the room, and you feel the brisk spring air enter the room. No longer does it smell dusty and musty and like old grandpa farts, but it smells like fresh air in rolling hills and floral fields.
Oh God, he's been Dutch ovening this fucking cabin for 800 years.
I like how you never said that it smelt bad in here, and so we've just been huffing grandpa farts and thinking it's totally normal.
Was that the spring onion smell?
No, it wasn't the spring onions.
Oh, thank goodness. The rest of the world isn't like that. Oh,
It's like, well, no way but forward. I'm gonna just leave the house.
I didn't know I was holding
We
my
just
breath. Oh
take
my
a
God.
step outside and we just look at him like we know now. We're like, oh, God.
As you step out, you turn back and you see that this is just a small, quaint little cabin. This small cottage, and it's a wonder how much there is underground, directly beneath this wooden structure. This seeming or unseeming little home. You know that there's a network of caverns beneath, and it's remarkable. It's quite intriguing, and you find yourself atop of a hill. There's a deep slope that heads down before you, and far off in the distance, you can see the rising spires of a castle. And Gigi says, "Well, we got a couple hours to walk. You guys know any good songs?"
not particularly.
I'm not really much of a singer.
They got music in the future?
Well,
Oh,
yes.
Well, that's good.
They have little boxes that you can listen to.
Little box. We got music boxes here.
No, but they can do different songs. Like
yeah,
you can do songs in
yeah,
one
we
box.
we can. Oh, with one box. Wow, incredible. The future really
I
is
point-
something, huh?
I point to my headphones that are still around my neck, probably not working anymore, and I say, I used to listen to music out of these.
What are these?
They're called headphones.
Huh?
You put them on your head. Hence, headphones.
Yeah, the head part I understood. The phones.
It's a suffix, or suffix meaning sound.
Oh,
Right.
Like
you can put it
like
over your...
gramophone.
he keeps going along, and his like shaggy feathers sort of cover up his limbs, so he just sort of looks like he's slugging across the ground. And he like has his head turned 180 degrees and is just watching you while he's walking forward. He says, "Well, that's really something. I'm sorry. I was never one of the book smart types. That was always Arturo. I'm more of a helper."
Well,
Excuse
that's
me,
all right.
Mr. Gigi, do you know how to fly so we don't have to walk there?
You can just call me Gigi.
If you insist.
He keeps walking.
Okay.
Well,
Go look at the others. I guess we should follow.
what sort of cool, neat powers did you get?
I got LASIK.
He like drops his jaw, like the pogging lizard. He's like, oh, he does. What's that?
I can see. I used to not be able to see without my glasses, and I like hold them up. But now they make my head hurt.
He does it again. And he's like, wow, I wish I didn't have to wear my glasses.
Oh.
Is he wearing glasses?
He is wearing
Yeah.
glasses, yeah. He has
I was
glasses
like,
in a
is
fanny
he
pack.
saying he wishes he doesn't have to wear glasses when he actually doesn't have to wear glasses?
He looks over at Billy. Billy, what's yours?
I can float now. I don't know. It's past the point of floating just to flying, but I imagine I'm kind of just hopping up in the air trying to get a feel for like, so I don't actually like launch myself into the sky again.
I used to be able to do that.
So
What
you
happened?
can't anymore.
No, the passing of time has not been kind to old Gigi. But that's all right. He is. Well, every time he laughs, his head sort of bobbles up and down. I imagine like the facial structure of Gigi, along with like his mustache and beard. How he moves his mouth. Imagine the goat from Hoodwinked.
Thank God. I love that. I love that goat.
Heck yeah.
Maggie, what about you?
I am green.
Whoa, me too.
Can I like try to like twitch my wrists or something to see if anything like comes out?
Spider-Man.
Hey, legally distinct green Spider-Man.
Green Spider-Man.
Fine, I got Peter Parkered.
Man.
You could try using one of your moves.
I'm going to try to like wave my hand and try to do my razor leaf.
Okay. You wave your hand and he ducks. Whoa! You throw leaves over the top of his head as you use the move Razor Leaf.
I'm just gonna look down at my hands and be like,
Wow! That was cool! What about you, Clary?
I'm just gonna keep doing it randomly.
I mean, I can breathe underwater. I don't know if I can do anything else like that.
Breathing underwater is pretty awesome. And you, Abby?
My skin is blue, and I am not that cold.
Okay. You want to try and do something like Maggie did?
What? Abner is gonna just like fling out his hand, just in a panic. I'm thinking powder snow. Yes.
Okay. So you throw out powder snow from your hand, and he ducks. Whoa! Watch where you're aiming that thing.
That's not supposed to happen.
I think that's pretty incredible, you all. Looks like Delibird came by and gave you a bunch of gifts, huh?
Is there a return policy?
Don't think so. You got a receipt?
Not real world problems.
My Pokemon game.
And who are these little fellas?
Another.
Oh yeah. What question?
Is it common for Pokemon to be able to speak around here?
Oh yeah, I guess I am talking, huh?
Oh.
No.
Oh,
Is anyone gonna freak out when you start speaking?
Well, you guys didn't.
Yeah, well, we're kind of in a state of being confronted with completely new things at every possible second, so that was just another thing to add to the list.
Well, Cassie, that's just living life. Every second's a new adventure. And he sort of smiles. And he sort of bobs his head. Well, don't worry. I know how to behave. Great Wizard Arturo's the one who gave me my ability to speak. Before he passed, he actually put all of his noggin up in here. And he sort of like bangs his head against his shoulder. Not my shoulder, my head.
Is that why you're like that?
Like what?
Nothing.
He says, so I have all the great wizard's knowledge. Just got holes in my brain.
That'll do it.
He keeps
all right
chugging
then.
along. So, where you guys come from?
Jodo?
What's the
Jodo?
future like?
Pretty cool.
It's got its pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's okay. You don't got to talk about it.
We don't really know what it's like here.
Right, it's
Yeah.
hard to tell you how it's different if we haven't really seen most of this region yet.
There's no point of reference.
That's actually really smart. So, let me tell you about Vingia then.
Okay.
Is there a Quackdonald's?
What is a Quackdonald's?
They make burgers.
No, we don't have that.
Ah!
Could he eat?
Abner is dejected. This is a terrible.
He says, just down there to the south where we're heading is the capital city of Vingia, called King's Watch.
Right?
Yep, and that's where the king lives. The king's a real smart fella.
Or a fart smell.
He stops completely in his tracks and starts cackling at this joke that you've told. He's like, I never thought about it like that. You're real clever.
Magnolia loves this guy. I'm just saying that right now. Okay.
Says, well, before we go any further and we go talk to the king, I just remembered something else. I'm sorry. And he sort of like hangs his head.
No worries. What you got?
Well, I was told to take you to the base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the base of what?
Well, your base of operations. It's not named because you get to name it.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can
we get a base?
Mm-hmm. You get your own keep.
All right.
So, yeah, the king will still be able to help you and all, but we gotta go to the base first. You got stuff waiting for you there.
Okay.
May as well.
He starts turning to the left, away from the city. Sorry.
Okay, Gigi.
It's all right. Don't apologize.
You all
it's all good.
very nice.
What's a little walk to sort of limber you up a bit?
we did just get off of a full day hike, and then trials and tribulations to try and get here, and now we're going again without really ever resting.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first contact I've had with anybody else in 8 centuries, so I'm a little scatterbrained, a little nervous.
No, you don't have to be nervous around us. It's not like we're exactly the most intimidating social butterflies.
He looks back at each of you, and you see the glasses sort of scan each of you over, and he gives a big warm smile. And he continues on. You are following this floral field on the side of a hill. These bright yellow flowers are blooming. There's patches here and there of white flowers, and along the way, he spots a small patch of wild onions. He says, "You smell that?"
Yeah?
Yes.
I smelt in the cave.
That's an oddish. You're right over there. And he sort of gestures. He's hiding from you guys.
Interesting.
Well, all this talk about onions has me really thirsty.
What?
Onions
Yeah.
make you.
Yeah, you guys don't have onion milk in the future?
Ew.
Oh my Jesus
What is
Christ.
that?
No!
No.
You can't do this!
Actual monster.
I
No.
refuse to believe that woman on the bus was just like a historical cosplayer.
You know what's crazy? What if, connecting dots here, she too has went through this trial at one point, and
Oh
it
my
broke
God.
her mind.
Oh my god, she's a time traveler. Her partner was the pedo she had in a cage. I'm so sorry, Vanessa, you weren't there. In the previous campaign, we were on effectively a Greyhound bus, and we were just being assaulted by these random, strange individuals on this like multiple-hour trip. And the one that Possum's character interacted with was a woman who would not stop staring at him and petting a pedo in a cage, and she offered to go get onion milk with him.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
How-
whenever we make it to King's Watch, we'll get us some.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
No, trust me, it's really good. He keeps chugging along.
Okay.
You get further and further, and the trees start to rise up. These tall, magnificent trees. Think not quite as tall as redwoods, but pretty tall. Deciduous trees. Everything here is much larger. And what were you gonna say? Sequoias. So you hear the buzzing of kakuna as they vibrate up in the tops of the treetops, and you begin stepping across past areas of acorns and various seeds and stuff for the trees. So in the future, are Pokemon or what are they to you guys? You didn't get here with Pokemon.
Well, most people have Pokemon. Dragonblood had a partner Pokemon also, but we just didn't.
So you said partner Pokemon. Are you guys friends?
Friends and coworkers and
Wow.
colleagues.
You know, it probably changed a lot since I last was out and about too. They used to see us as monsters.
I'm sure that it's changed.
Okay.
At least for a good amount of people, it has.
I mean, it's been 800 years.
Yeah, a lot can change in 800 years.
Oh yeah.
He keeps traveling along, and as you pass through, you see several Pokemon scattered about. They seem to be quite frightened of you, though. It's abnormal as to what you're experienced with in the future, where Pokemon seem to cohabitate with humans, and they're not too afraid. They might be skittish, but these seem to be genuinely frightened. The forest has gone quiet as you walk through it, and your voices bounce along the trees. You could see Pokemon lurking and hiding away from you all. One such that doesn't run away is this oblivious little Greedent who is he's picking up all of the left behind acorns that a Pokemon had left behind as it ran from you guys as you approached. His back is turned to you, and he's just acorn after acorn after acorn, shoving it in his cheeks. And then as you approach, he sort of turns, and his eyes widen, and he drops all the acorns, and he scampers off towards the woods.
Really nervous around us, aren't they?
Is that weird?
I mean, I'm used to Pokemon being standoffish, but they don't usually run away like that.
Well,
usually just kind of stand there and watch you.
From when I was around, like I said, humans saw us as monsters. They used to hunt us. Great Wizard Arturo never did that, though, no. He had a bit of a sanctuary. He was always thought of as a weirdo.
Interesting.
Creep. He always asked what he's doing here. After more and more walking along this path, is there anything that you guys want to talk about to each other? Any experiences, any thoughts that are lingering, any plans?
What do you think we have to do in order to get back home?
I know he mentioned finding those other 3 that apparently came with us. It's just a matter of figuring out where they are, and if what Miss Magnolia said is anything to go by, probably get strong enough to actually be able to take them on.
They have mega evolved Pokemon.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of a thing to deal with. But
Well, here's hoping that when we show up in King's Watch and start blabbering on about time travel and superpowers, they don't mistake us for witches and burn us all at the stake, right?
You guys got witches where you come from?
No.
Not really.
Hey.
They're not real.
What? Of course they're real.
I mean,
I just told you about the Great Wizard Arturo.
yeah, but like, what did he do? How?
Magic. He knows.
How?
He understands the inner workings of the arcane. I don't know. I'm not a wizard.
You have all of his knowledge, though.
Oh yeah. And he sort of hangs his head. He sits and he thinks for a second. He's like, I don't know. I don't think I got any of his expertise, and a lot of it's gotten fuzzy over the years. Comes and goes in flashes. You know, he did leave me 2 things before he passed. Well, I guess 3 if you count his knowledge. He gave me that incense. He gave me this cool rock. And he reaches into his fanny pack. He pulls out a cool rock. And he says, when the moment's right, I'll know when to use it. And he sort of tucks it back away. Can you guys roll a Pokemon education check, all of you?
5.
6.
3.
Oh no!
Abner and Magnolia, the 2 of you recognize that cool rock as a megastone.
Oh.
Really? To mega evolve?
Huh?
Well, that's what that rock will do.
What?
It'll make you big and powerful.
This whole thing?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And he keeps walking.
Good talk. Good talk.
I figured that would have had a little more of an impact, but
I was expecting something, but not the okay.
He's chill like that.
he's super chill, man.
man's just vibing. I respect it.
He keeps trotting along until you pass through this expanse of forest. He gets to the other side, and built atop this large hill is a keep. This square or this rectangular building with parapets and a tower, surrounded by a tall wall. It looks in disrepair, but for the most part, it's held together. The structure is still intact, even though there is some weathering to the stones, some cracks here and there, in places that stones need to be put back. But there it is. He looks and he says, "That right there is your home. That's supposed to be your base."
That's
All right.
ours.
Mm-hmm. Do you think of a name for it?
Cassie is vibrating with excitement. She cannot respond.
We were walking all this time. Did you even give a name to your Pokemon?
We were
Um,
talking. I was
I stole
distracted.
his name from future me, which knew it already.
Well, it's still a name.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
it was.
look.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh no.
I want to look at my little friend now, and I want to kind of see if he has any personality or anything.
He has been jumping around, like bouncing like a grass puppy this whole time. Anytime you guys see a flower that's sort of poking up through those woods where it's like heavy canopied, and the ground is sort of mossy, every time he sees a flower, he bounces over and he eats it.
He's adorable.
He has a cool stick
I
he
love
found
him.
too.
I
Hell
will
yeah.
riot if something happens to this Pokemon.
I also will. I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Aww, I love him so much," and I'm gonna put my arms around him, like as much as I can at least, and then I'm gonna call you Sticks.
He looks up to you and he has a stick between his beak. Um, Will, you have that picky pack, and as you walked through the forest, it keeps flying from your shoulder to a tree, and it'll peck in. You'll see that it'll pick up some small things here and there, and it'll fly back. And then as you walk by, you'll see a Burmy that hangs from one of the branches up above, and your pick-a-peck will look up to it and fire bullets or seeds like bullets up at it and make it fall out of the tree. Watch it hit the ground, and then it'll go over and have it as a little snack.
Interesting.
And then it comes back and just onto your head.
Just starts thump. It's like I'm gonna call this little guy Thumper. $10 you can guess why. As this thing is just thumping on the side of my head.
Um, the next one would be Clary. You have this Pokemon that's sort of, this cat is very nonchalant. He is just sort of walking alongside you. He doesn't pay you too much mind. And he still has that sort of unamused expression on his face as he walks along.
Kind of look at him thoughtfully for a bit, thinking.
You also know that this is not just this is also a variant of Litten. It's one that hasn't been documented before. It's a strange anomaly, and possibly one that only existed during this time in Vingia. The thought comes to your mind, and you decide to dub this species Toxikitten.
I share that thought with the rest of the class.
I like it.
I like it.
Thank you. I thought it was pretty inspired myself.
Good
That
choice.
is the documented species now. What name do you give such a creature?
Hey, this is the one that you said looks kind of like a lionfish, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he appears to resemble something akin to a lionfish, so I feel like I'll keep it simple. Perhaps Leo would suffice.
He sort of tilts his head and looks at you like, what? And then he looks back ahead and you see him slowly shake his head.
Ugh. Picky.
This little guy's got a bit of an attitude.
Have you ever heard that saying that trainers always look a little bit like their Pokemon?
And then we get a frame that pulls away and it's Clary and Toxikitten standing side by side and they have the exact same facial expression.
Well, I don't know what you mean.
Toxikitten like looks over his shoulder and like blows out air from his cheeks. He's over to Abner. You also have a strange variant. This was identified for you earlier as a variant of Tinkatink.
Huh?
That you come to mind the idea of Rinkatink as the species name, crediting terror.
Wow. That's great. Wow.
Yeah.
She's
What do
sort
you
of.
think about?
You see that her legs are moving really fast to try and keep up with you. She has really short, stubby legs, and she's also trying to carry her hammer along with her.
As it like falls along the ground, he will hear the noise. He'll be like, hee hee, honka.
So we have Tonka, the Rinkatink. We have Jack, the Axie. We have Thumper, the Picky-Peck. Styx, the Turtwig, and Leo, the Toxikitten. Well, those are good names. You little guys should be grateful. I didn't get Gigi till I was old.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Who named you then?
Professor, Great Wizard Arturo. I told you, I'm closer to 1,000. But I've only been waiting for you for 800. I was already about 200 years old by the time I got my name.
So was that
If you were already
young
old,
for you? Or
What'd you say,
oh,
Vanessa?
that wasn't young for you. That was already old for you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I got old at like I don't know, 5, 6.
No.
what?
Mm-hmm.
Do you
You-
die
maybe-
or
I mean, I'm sure eventually.
You can't just ask that.
well, why not?
Because
We all die eventually.
it
Well,
feels
clearly he doesn't.
God.
So it was a
So
logical
sad.
question.
Just gonna go walk by the other two.
I don't know.
We can
I don't
only
know what.
hope to die a noble and honest death. That's why I envied Professor Dragonblood. Oh, why don't we name the keep after Dragonblood?
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
Oh.
cool.
How
A little-
sentimental.
A little bit morbid.
I like it.
Yeah.
He walks up. He's like, also, don't get any funny ideas. I am a dragon, but I'm not giving you any of my blood.
Well, so is Jack, and I wasn't really planning on taking any of his.
All right. And he continues trotting up the hill. His bob sort of bounces every time he takes a step. He makes it up to the doors, and you guys stand at this set of wooden doors. He waits for all of you to get up there, and he's just staring at the doors.
Are they unlocked?
He looks to you and he's like, "Oh, hey, you!
Get out here!
What?
These guys always slacking. Yeah, just give it
There's
a minute.
people?
No,
Host?
not people.
No? Oh.
You hear dong, 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 these thundering footsteps as they approach. There he is. Come on, Emmett. Hurry up. And you
Emmett.
hear as the door is wrenched open. And on the other side, there is a big Golurk who has vines growing over his chest that patches up the crack in his armor. And he looks down and sees Gigi, and he extends a hand, and you see this flare light up in the palm of Emmett's hand. Yeah, don't you dare put it down. And Emmett sees Gigi, and then he puts his hand down and steps out of the way. Come on.
Is he gonna be okay with us going in?
Emmett? Yeah, he's fine. He's a sweetheart. And he walks in. Emmett closes the door behind you, and doom, doom, and he takes up the rear following you guys. You make it up to the front doors of the castle, and Gigi nudges open the door and pushes in and says, well, at least they're keeping the place tidy. Come on.
All right.
He ushers each of you in, and as you do, Casper! You don't hear a response. I want to warn you about this guy. He's, what do you want, you incessant old fool? And
Oh.
you hear a voice coming from your left to a room that appears to be a large dining hall. You don't see anyone in there. And Gigi's just, and he just sort of, all right, explore your new home. I want to take a nap. And he lays down.
Okay.
Cassie barely needs permission. She's up and down the hall. She's scanning everything, making sketches. Old architecture.
Curious about what this other voice here was. Want to investigate.
Well, are you going to be rude or are you going to introduce yourself?
I'm Will, and these are my colleagues. It'd be easier to introduce ourselves if we know where you are.
I'm right here. And you see on the table a small ceramic dish moves.
It's a freaking sinister, isn't it?
And the top from a poltergeist from the teapot pops out. And this small purple ghost-like creature sort of moves about. And he pokes his head out. Says, did the old one bring you here?
Yeah.
He gives you a big frown. I am Casper. I am the keep's butler. Are you the prophetic five?
Makes us sound like a
people keep telling us.
He sounds so upset.
Does not wanna. Bro hates his job.
This is what customer service will do to a Pokemon.
More like pathetic five.
Damn, shots
Titan
fired.
words.
He looks up and he says, I am the keep's butler. Your wish is my command. I can place orders for supplies and other such things for the keep, and I can perform basic tasks around the keep. I'll mostly delegate it to Emmett, the big lug, but yes, I can help save the world and all that.
Don't get too excited, man.
He's so unhappy.
I have a feeling him and Clary are about to get along really well.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I love him.
What told you? Rhinum,
You're
Will,
Will, and they
then,
are the
then
colleagues, yes. Will and the
I'm gonna
colleagues.
gesture to the rest of them. It's like, all right, y'all, go ahead for it.
Cassie's down the hall.
I am Professor Magnolia Stock.
Pleased.
As am I, sir. She's gonna do a little curtsy.
He does a bow.
Say-
He looks to Clary, and you.
I eye him a little suspiciously and say, I'm Dr. Claret Mason.
Dr. Claret, nice to meet you. And you, sir. And he sort of points over towards Abner, sort of dismissively.
Abner Knoll.
Huh?
Abner Knoll.
Abner Knoll. Well, as I said, I am this keep's butler. If there's anything you need, just give me the command. I suppose that I must serve you. The goer sort of
Alrighty.
wanders into the room. Doom, doom, doom. He looks down at Magnolia, and he holds out his hand. You hear the creaking of metal and stone. There's a cool rock in it.
Ooh,
He's awesome.
got a cool rock.
Magnolia.
I was like, he got a cool rock.
Yeah. I'm responsive. He walks over towards Clary. Doom, doom.
I'm
And
so
he-
sorry, my mic like totally died, and I had to like panic to like connect it again.
Yeah, he hands you a cool rock, Magnolia. And he goes over to Clary. And he reaches out. And he holds a small daffodil.
I look at it, him in confusion, and then very slowly take it and say, thank you.
You see the fire inside of his mask sort of brighten a little bit, as if to smile. And he goes over, doom, doom, to Abner. And he looks down at you, Abner. He reaches down to you, and he extends his hand again. He gives you a couple cracked walnuts.
Oh.
Stumbles, doom, doom, to Will, and he is going to place gingerly a small acorn hat on the top of your head, and he will walk out of the room.
I'm gonna cherish
pleasant.
this rock so much.
Cassie, as you're running around the hallways and stuff, you hear the thudding that sort of echoes throughout the halls. You don't really know where it is, and as you round a corner, Emmett is just standing there and looks down at you.
Oh, hi, Emmett. Was it? I'm sorry. I got a little distracted.
His arm jerks into place in sort of like a creaky motion, and he extends his hand once more, his open palm. In it, he has this tarnished copper coin that he found.
She takes it, very grateful.
Doom,
Thank you so much.
doom,
Thank you.
and he walks away.
Artifact.
So Casper is still there in the dining hall. He says, "All right, well, since the old man's asleep, that means that I'm in charge. Although your wish is my command, that only dictates for the keep. I, however, I am in charge of destiny, seeing as I'm second in command to the great wizard Arturo."
Okay.
This is one of the greatest things ever.
This guy.
So,
I love him.
how far along on your quest are you?
We just started.
Literally just got here.
Maybe you can go hang out with the old coot a little longer then. Well, while you're still here, let me give you the tour. Carry me, someone.
I will gladly walk over and just scoop him up.
Thank you. And as you pick him up, he then floats out of your hands as if he didn't need it. And he starts hovering and like sort of bopping midair, leading you through the castle. So this, of course, is the dining hall where dinner will be served at 7 o'clock sharp every evening, whether you are here or not. He moves, passes through a hallway, and he takes you. This is the kitchen where I will be preparing your meals. If you ever feel the need that I am not performing my duties up to your strict measurements, perhaps you could assist me in getting me a larger receptacle for my body. And he sort of looks down at the small teapot. He looks around and he's like, all right, over here. This leads out to the training yard. And he opens up the back door of the castle. And there's this large courtyard that's walled in. It's got old training dummies, basically just tree stumps at this point. And a rough stone training yard that's got grass poking up from some of the cracks. Over there is the garden. There is enough for 6 plots of plants it can be expanded upon. Heads back in. Here is a living area, one for which you could host many parties. I know that I do when you're not home. And leads you back. This being the foyer. Up the stairs there. All the rest of the bedrooms. You can go choose your own. There's enough for all of you.
Awesome.
You head up, and he sort of leads you upstairs. And should you seek any possible upgrades to clean up this dump, I happen to know a handful of individuals who would be highly regarded within these castle walls.
Oh.
He's sort of moving around. All right, pick your rooms. You each go down the hallways. I will start with Will. Will, you open up this door. On the other side, what do we see? What does your room look like?
Imagine I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm probably gonna keep things kind of minimalistic. Probably just simple bed, maybe a simple desk to work on things, jot down notes in the journal or something like that. Kind of bare, kind of simple. Kind of thing. There's a whole lot better than sleeping in the freaking animal pens.
That's what that smell is.
They haven't done that for weeks.
Haven't showered either. And he moves on to the next room. Cassie, what does your room look like?
I think bed and working quarters are very simple. Most of the room is actually taken up by an empty bookshelf and a single pedestal with a pillow just the right size for a Dragonair pearl, and a spot where she can put the coin that she was just given.
Oh yeah. And Magnolia, what does yours look like?
I feel like if it's like the best room that I could think of for her, right, would be kind of like somewhat of a mossy floor, kind of resembling carpet, but there's a lot of like just like dirt spots that she can just plant and have a whole bunch of like freedom to plant whatever she wants and grows them in here. And then kind of like in the back is a little alcove into like a separate tiny littler room that just has a big bed in it, and then kind of like has a little bit of a bay window right there. And then on the floor, next to it is gonna be a table and a bookcase.
Hell yeah. What about you, Clary?
So I think my room, the one I pick, it seems very strangely suited to me. It's very sparse. It has a work table, a comfy bed in the corner. I put one of the cushions. I look at it for a second, then I kind of put it on the ground for Leo. The walls are very calming blue, almost like the ocean. Um, and there's a vase, an empty vase on the table that I kind of put the daffodil in. But otherwise, it's currently pretty empty. I look at one corner and glance at Leo and say, I'll figure something out to give you a place for you to swim.
He like looks down at the pillow, then looks up at you. He still has that nonchalant expression. He just starts making biscuits as he does.
She almost goes aw, but then she catches herself and scoffs and looks away.
It's like, no, I will not like you.
Alright.
Abner, what does your room look like?
So as Abner opens the door, he's going to be shown the side of a small work area. There's like a cot in the corner that looks a little bit disheveled and rickety, but there's going to be multiple workbenches lining one side of the room. It's like, wow.
Okay. The
wow.
servants' quarters, huh?
Pretty nice.
If you say so. And Casper heads back and says, as I said, if any of the upkeep is not to your liking, you can always get me a larger receptacle. I'd have much more freedom to move about the keep in that state. And if you want any upgrades, just speak to me. I can put you in the right path. You will need to have money, though, or at least perform some sort of form of favor for whoever you are going for.
Elevator.
He looks at you and he's like, it's 2 floors, Abner.
Fast elevator.
But a splash of color here and there. Perhaps a painter would be nice. Something to give us sweet treat could be. Keep an ear out, and if you're ready, I can send you on their way. But for now, you should probably still get acquainted if your journey is just beginning. I do not feel like mentoring you in the early stages and needing to hold your hand over everything. So go wake up the old fart, and he should be able to set you on your path. Tell him to speak to Emmett. They will be spending money for you to have.
Alright. Seems reasonable enough.
I bid you adieu. And he sort of sinks through the floor.
I love him.
He's a very peculiar teapot.
He
He's
pokes
so
his head back up.
sassy.
I heard that. He goes back down.
Oh.
Okay, there's like, good. We're gonna get along just fine.
You guys doing okay up there?
Yes, Gigi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna go wake him up and be like,
Huh?
shouldn't we start doing this training thing you said?
You already talked to Casper?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You remember
Real
that
ray
you
of sunshine,
were
that
supposed to tell him that he needed to talk to Emmett.
Yeah.
Gigi, I believe that you have to talk to Emmett.
What? Why?
Something about spending
It's
monies or something.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You guys probably need gear, huh? Okay.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
He starts sauntering along. Emmett! Emmett! And you hear doom, doom, doom as he comes from the kitchen area, and he has this flowery pink apron on, and you see that it's kind of spattered with flour here and there, and he like looks down at you guys. The kiddos need some money. Casper said you might be able to give them some stuff to spend, a little bit of an allowance.
We need our allowance.
Emmett grabs hold of his apron, and he pulls it off, and he opens up his chest, and he reaches inside, and he holds out a bag, and he just puts it in front of Gigi. Oh, thanks. And Emmett sort of closes it up, puts his apron back on, ties it, and walks back to the kitchen. You guys
There we go.
can each add 1,500 to your character sheets down at the bottom.
Wow.
Hey.
I'm rich.
Money, 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 money.
God, I wish it were that easy in real life.
It'd be nice.
You said
Okay.
1,500?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Does that
Alright.
add? One sec. I already had 3,000.
I think that's just standard.
I
'cause
don't
did
think that
too.
adds. Yeah.
Yeah. Just set your monies to 1,500.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you know how to get here. Before we leave, I should probably go get you one of these. Casper, and what? And he sort of lifts himself up through the floor. Are you hiding out in your evil lair again? It's not an evil lair.
Oh,
Okay.
that's an evil layer.
They need a map. Fine. He floats off, and he comes back with a scroll of paper. Here, somebody take it. He holds out his little purple
Abner.
hand.
I look over to Abner. Is like, I think that's you, buddy.
Yeah, and he's gonna walk forward and just very gingerly take it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I had to disappear for a little bit. Have I met up with everyone yet, or am I still just lost?
Yeah, you met up with everybody. You had been going through the hallways. You all went upstairs together to pick out your rooms, and you told us what your room looked like.
Okay. I didn't know if I was actually there for when we were picking out our rooms, or if I was just gonna take the last one left.
Yes, yeah, you were. Everybody was picking out their rooms. You were up there, and you got to talk to Casper, and now you've gotten your money, and now you got a map. So,
Hell yeah.
Abner, you have the map. You scroll it out, and then Gigi says, "All right, well, I think that's enough dancing around. Time to head over to King's Watch. Come on, let's go, kids." And I think that is where we will end our session.
Woohoo!
Start of a new adventure.